Hello and welcome to a wonderful week ahead here at the Winter Equestrian Festival here at Wellington International. Massive week coming up that includes the first stage of the Rolex Series. But prelude to all of that is qualifying for that $1 million Grand Prix that takes place on Saturday. More on that as we go through. But today it is the $116,100 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, part of that qualifying system for the US Equestrian Open that will take place on Saturday night with that Rolex headlining Grand Prix. A beautiful day, a little bit of breeze, but of course it is Florida, so the weather is absolutely spot on perfect. A little bit of heat around, that is keeping us all energized and ready. But what we're really energized about is the exciting lineup of riders that are coming up for today's Grand Prix qualifier. Alongside me, I'm delighted to say I've got a wonderful lineup of people I'm going to see during the week, but for our whole commentary throughout the week, I'm delighted to say is going to be Jessica Kitt. And Jess, top 10 rider, trainer, you're looking forward to this, aren't we?
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it, and it's a privilege to be able to commentate with you, of course, this weekend.
Well, we're looking forward to having some fun with this because I'm not kidding when we say we've got an amazing field. 6 of the world's top 10, 11 of the world's top 20. Amazing lineup. Now, today, 60 riders, of which 30 qualify from today for the Grand Prix, but there's 40 that will compete on Saturday night. The other 10 will come from tomorrow's class as well. So it's pressure on from the off.
Yes, very much so. And obviously the pressure today is extreme because everybody wants to ride for that $1 million on Saturday night under the lights, but you've got to qualify. And we will have 30 qualifying from today, including the pre-qualifieds, but you will go through all of that later. But you've got all the stats.
Looking forward to that. An amazing lineup of riders that we're seeing here, like I say, and we're going to see defending champions here in Christian Kukuk and Checker later on into the week. He's got a different horse for the qualifier as well. We're going to take a look at the order of how they go today from our big lineup of riders. Like I say, 60 combinations coming here. Early runner, Laura Crack Bisquetta, should give us a good indicator here, Jess.
Yes, very much. I mean, Bisquetta definitely one of Laura's very best horses. Has a great string of horses, but Bisquetta, one of her absolute A1 horses.
So those are going to be the first 6 coming up. Like we see, we've got Australia, we've got Czechia, we've got USA, we've got also Belgium in the early runners here. Like I say, big field for this. So those are just the first few. 6 of the world's top 10 competing as part of this. Taking a look at our next few. The in-form Marilyn Little, Heidi von Imhoff. And again, for her, she's had an amazing season. Tom Watchman, Tabasco de Toxaltigo Z. Of course, you're an Irish team manager as well. So you've got a good eye on what the Irish have been doing.
Yeah, very much so. And I think we have a very informed group of riders in here today, coming off the back of a great weekend in Ocala for the Longy League of Nations. So really looking forward to the Irish being very successful today.
Well, we will see. Nina Malouet for France is the world number 7 right now, the only lady rider in that top 10. Amazing job from her. Mimi Gotchman, winner of the previous one of these classes, back on to week 5 as well. Ken Farrington brings an exciting horse here in Descartes. He's got Greer here this week that no doubt will be aimed at the Grand Prix as well. So a number of them here for the Grand Prix qualifying, going with different horses they'll probably use for the Grand Prix. And again, that's going to be really interesting to see as some superstars of the future here.
Yes, very much so. And we could see yesterday there was a 140 and a 145 class. We saw some of the potential Grand Prix qualified horses jumping around, just getting a feel for the arena. And the riders, of course, some of these riders you mentioned, Kent, there, they really have such a strong string of horses. So it's all about really setting that horse up for day X. So they want to get a good qualification today.
Taking a look at the next group of those, to say we're 18 into the 60 that we'll see in total for this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here as well. Niall Nassaro, the Grand Prix winning combination, who are already ESI Ali. And some new faces, those that haven't been here all season, make their way in with Jack Whittaker and Lisa Bros as part of that lineup as well. And Pier Giorgio Bucci for Italy. Taking a look further down into our lineup too. So that's going to take us near the halfway stage of this, and as I say, just around 60 going in the first round. So Lisa Bros coming up, and let's take a look at a few more of those in the early pace here for our start list of this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Italy there with Pier Giorgio Bucci and Hantano on the list as we stand. So there's going to be some of the early combinations to go, and taking a little further look down, Ben Mayer is up there in the world's top 5 once again. Christian Kukuk, the defending champion today, riding Fantasia. He's got Checker here, that's been that previous winner as well. And so he is also actually pre-qualified as the Olympic champion. Eduardo de Menezes goes 30th as we go up to the halfway stage. A little further down onto our list as well, Carl Cook is bringing in his Grand Prix horse with Caracol de la Roque. Natalie Dean, who's jumping so superbly well at the moment, the US rider with Mr. Boombastic. Daniel Blumen, winner of the Grand Prix here last week, steps it up with Hummer Z this time. They'll take us through to 37. And Mario Delorio, we saw second in the Grand Prix here just a couple of weeks ago too, comes on good form. New face here, Roy van Beek of Belgium and Cavoiro. Kian O'Connor been with us all season. Rise Ulysses today's. Another new face in Michael Greve here, and Denver for the combinations from the Netherlands. Still a few more to come in the lineup. It's top 12 to go forward to round 2. We'll take you through the details of that as we go. Birch Mallon, multi-Grand Prix winner here for Ireland with Conquest Arrigo. Rodrigo Pessoa with the exciting upcoming Prince van Eycken Logos 47th. Abdul Said, multi-Grand Prix winner here with Max as well. And then further down, Daniel Coyle, incredible for Ireland, usually is. Rishi Vogel, former winner of the Rolex Grand Prix here. Claudio this time. Lily Keenan, NetJets Grand Prix winner this season with Kick On this time. The horse she rode as part of the winning team in Rome last year for the US Nations Cup team. Jordan Coyle being placed well in this big Grand Prix season for Lali before now. Grand Prix winner already this season, Derek Kenny, and Eddie Blue will go for Ireland. And our last on the list will be Donald Whitaker and Millfield Collette, a pairing that were part of the silver medal winning team at the European Championships. And so that's the starting lineup for our class. Riders just walking through the last few steps around the track as well. Like I say, this is one of 2 qualifying classes for this week's $1 million Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Pressure is on here this afternoon in southern Florida. We're back after the break.
It's a lot to take care of something as cool as a horse. So 3-day eventing is like a triathlon for horses. I'm counting the rhythm of the horse. If I move my seat in a certain way, they know the signals. We do ask a lot of them physically. I love to stand my horses in ice water. It makes all the blood move while taking inflammation out.
NetJets is more, and with NetJets, you get more. More exceptional service, heightened safety standards, and anytime access to where you're needed most. Do more and miss less with NetJets.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company that has developed and acquired 43,700 homes, representing $8.5 billion in transactions. With more than 500 associates nationwide, we oversee development, construction, acquisitions, dispositions, asset, and third-party management. Based in Wellington, Florida, Bainbridge continues to grow its national footprint. Learn more at bainbridgecompanies.com.
Well, a very warm welcome, literally warm welcome to a beautiful afternoon here in southern Florida to Wellington International. And, well, let's give you the details of the weather. Hopefully, you're sitting somewhere where it's pleasant enough, but if not, we hope we can bring you a little bit of sunshine. It's 80 degrees, 9 miles per hour is the wind, which means just a gentle breeze through here on a sunny day here at Wellington as well, down near Palm Beach. We are in a beautiful spot. The palm trees are blooming, spring is in the air, and we're looking forward to an exciting finale week of what has been a major season here at Wellington International once again. 13 weeks of competition have been taking place. We've had a whole host of top Grand Prix, and this is the finale, the one that will close out 2026. So riders just walking through their last few strides here, and we'll be then getting into competition with just over 60 to come into our class here as well. We've also got some special awards coming up that have been season-long awards too, and as I say, this is part of Rolex Week as well. There's become such a historic part of the lineup here for the overall Winter Equestrian Festival series as well. And we're going to head to one of our presentations first, which is going to be the culmination of what has been an exciting season for the lady riders, the special award for the overall leading lady. And each week we present that, and also we accumulate points throughout the season to come up with one winner across the season as well. And this is based on points from the WEF Challenge Cup. That means the Grand Prix qualifiers and the Grand Prix themselves. So it basically rewards consistency throughout 2026. We've also got later on into the week our International Rider Award to be presented as well. But there, Martha Jolicoeur, who sponsors the award, will be handing over the laurels to, and congratulations to Erin Ballard of Canada, who is the overall 2026 Martha Jolicoeur overall leading lady rider. So congratulations to her. 17th year this wonderful award has been given, and to Martha, thank you very much for your support right the way through. So Erin Ballard will be this year's victor based on her performances all the way throughout 2026, the early part of 2026, of course. We are already into a big year of sport. So out in the sunshine, the riders, some of those you see just over in the rider stand, just going through their final thoughts and discussions. Some will be watching these early combinations to go intently, and they're going to be seeing how they tackle Guillaume Georges' course. Guy, our course designer once again for the Rolex Week here. He's the man who designed the courses for the Olympic Games in 2016, and returns now as our course designer this week for this Rolex finale. Like I say, Jess Kitten alongside me as well. Fidelity Investments bringing our course animation each week as well. Jess, let's take a look at the track of what to expect. We're going to swing into the very top of the arena, starting over the Dodd Technologies vertical.
Yeah, lovely animation, all the jumps in the Rolex colour. Number one down at the bottom, and then swinging back to number two. So far so good. They've got to go around the big water feature. It walked a nice 7, I would say. Could be a little floaty. Green poles with water underneath. They have to be very delicate here. It's a very delicate triple combination. The colours that have been used, it's particularly beautiful, but very delicate. That vertical in the middle is quite tall. Then the horses really have to stretch and come out. There could be a few mistakes in there. It's a short 7 strides down to the Rolex Oxer. Will some take 6? It's very long to do that, mostly 7. Roll back to 2 black jumps. This is shorter poles on this one, this vertical. 4 slides slightly up over the crown of the arena and going back down to another black vertical on the 4 strides. It walks 9 or 8 strides. There's really a choice here. I would say that most of them will be moving up here on that. It's a short 6 to this very pale vertical with the water mat again behind. Roll back to the Roman wall. Has caused a few problems here in the last weeks, but I would imagine these horses will be all well up for today. Then it's a little bit of a rider's line. Pick your route. You can walk it. You can go down 10. You can go down 11. You can go down 9. Whatever you want, as long as you set yourself up well. 5 strides, perhaps a little floaty for some. Don't think any will do 6, but you never know with this sport. 1 stride inside and 7 or 8 to number 13, which is a very wide oxer with a very light white plank on the front. So a tough course today.
81 seconds the time allowed now. To remind you how this works, it is top 12 to go forward to round 2, and only the top 12. Now, if they were not all clear, they would carry their scores as well. So we're looking for that top dozen for those over the 13 number fences here. As we see, Guillaume Georges is our course designer here from Brazil, and here based in the USA, and he is the man designing the courses, assisted by a fantastic team once again too. So with blue skies up above, we are getting ready for our upcoming class, like I say, top 12 into the second round of competition here as well. So with a little bit of tension in the air, the excitement of qualifying for that $1 million class here on Saturday night, the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix, part of the US Equestrian Open Series as well, which takes place across all 3 disciplines here in the United States of America. This is the jumping finale. They also have dressage and eventing as well, with their finales later on into the year. So that is all part of what has been an exciting initiative here in the United States as well. So moments away from our first coming up, and very strong field. Like I say, it is 6 of the world's top 10, 11 of the top 20. But Jess, the thing is top to bottom. The strength all the way through this class. 30 qualifying from today, 10 from tomorrow. There's Ben Mayer, the 3-time Olympic gold medalist. He actually won this class last year. Point break, literally flew over, won the class, went back, and then he went with Dallas, I think it was, into the Grand Prix itself.
Yes, I remember that well. And actually, he said, Bodie, as he calls him, he needed that class to set him up for the World Cup final.
Yeah.
And then he was on the podium of the World Cup final.
He was.
Everything done correctly.
Absolutely. So Ben just getting his thoughts together down there, and all of the various people will be setting up and talking with their teams of their different thoughts. Jess, you've been a top 10 rider yourself. You all have your own systems, don't you? You would probably have people you spoke to, how you worked it through. Others probably want to be more solitary. Yeah,
it depends very much on the person. I mean, over the years, I kind of had my thing. My husband always played a huge role as my manager and basically my person, my wall.
Your go-to.
As we'd say. But I was definitely somebody who liked to zone in very much before a competition and zone out very much after the competition.
So they'll all have their different plans. There's Kent Farrington talking with McLean Ward. Kent's world number 2 right now. McLean, multi-winner of this Grand Prix, sadly not going to be jumping this week. Unfortunate injury has kept him on the sidelines. He's going to be a few weeks on the sidelines. I know he'll be, although he's smiling there, good to say, but he's going to be somewhat frustrated with that. But he's already won a 5-star Grand Prix this season. He's also got several pupils in here, people he supports, that he's going to be alongside this week as well. An exciting lineup of riders. Like I say, 1 or 2 new faces in here. For those that follow all the way through the season, you're going to see some familiar faces in there that have already been winning 5-star Grand Prix, 5-star being the biggest. We've had 3 $500,000 Grand Prix this year already. So this week, we thought we'd double it up, make it $1 million.
Yeah, and it really is, I think, it's as a great culmination of a wonderful few months, actually, of jumping here. It really is. It's attracted also some fresh riders in from Europe, so it's going to be a very exciting to see how those riders who've been the whole time and the new ones come in, how it actually turns out.
Now, like I say, I'll just add the reminder in there of the admin side. Top 30 from today, 10 from tomorrow's speed class as well, which we'll be bringing you. And from there on in, we fill in from there. Several of which, and Jess mentioned this a bit earlier on, are pre-qualified, and those are riders that have won individual medals at championships. So the likes of Christian Kukuk, who's the Olympic champion, Rishi Vogel, who's the European champion. Those are riders that will be pre-qualified. Kent Farrington, medal from the Pan Am Games as well, so he'll be pre-qualified. So again, it puts a little bit of a different slant on it for them. But the other added extra with this class is they go in reverse order for the Grand Prix. So that top 30 will reverse. So whoever wins today will be last to go in round 1 of the Grand Prix come Saturday night. So that adds another layer to this, Jess.
Most definitely. I mean, it really is an advantage to be able to go later in a competition, especially in an arena like this where the horses' strides get very long. And with the riders that we have in here, we do have some great daredevils in here. And when it comes to a jump off, if you have them in front of you, it's much nicer than if you have them behind you.
Well, our first out is Tanner Korotkin of the United States, and finished very well. In fact, second in a Grand Prix earlier on in the early part of the season here for riders comes so well through the youth ranks. Follows in a great family tradition. His father was a Grand Prix rider as well. He was out walking the course with him, talking about your support teams. He's 25 years of age, based here as well. Tanner with the Sandalwood Farms Kinmar Quality Heroes, the Irish-bred gelding by OBOS Quality. Sandalwood Farms of Larchmont in New York. And it's going to be our trailblazer of the just over 60 to compete in today's $116,100 Adequan 5-star WEF Challenge Cup. So let the games commence, as they say. Jess, a little tap at the first.
Yes, it's never a good feeling to have a tap at the first. But if you do get away with it, then you also have the feeling, well, we're awake now, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, he moved up on 7 strides, jumped that very well. And now they go around the Rolex clock and come to this delicate triple combination. There's enough room inside to just let the horses jump forwards there. You can see he really had to stretch to come out. Rebalanced now for the Rolex banded rails. Jumping very well so far this course. Tanner's still an under 25 rider, so this is a big event for him this weekend at the early stage of his career.
2 meters on the triple bar. The Vogel coming down to the Swans.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not going to say what I'd like to say because
we're not going to try and jinx
the
it.
commentator's curse is something you don't want to give.
But I'm going to be interested to see time-wise here. 81 time allowed here. And like I say, top 12 go forward to round 2.
Yeah, he's keeping the horse well balanced. This is tricky now. Gets away with it. Oh,
not that.
Oh, that was really hard luck. He just had to rebalance a little bit after the Oxer, and those 5 strides are just a little bit nice to have to actually rebalance. 23.3 meters down to that double of verticals.
So finishing on the 4:79.12 there for Tanner Karotkin of the US, our trailblazer into our Grand Prix qualifier with Kinmar Quality Hero just on the 4:79.12 is time, so inside the time allowed of 81 seconds. Okay, nice efficient round there as we see them through the final fences. And Jess, the first part he gave a little tickle to, but the second one.
Yeah, you could just see the 5 got that little bit flat for him. And as you say, he got away with it in A, but the horse just wasn't able to get his body weight back enough to get propelled up in the air over B. Very, very hard luck for him after a lovely round.
One of the new faces this week is for Belgium, Annelies Vosselmans, and Tresgoe is the 13-year-old Swedish-bred gelding for Annelies, and as a rider, I say, makes her debut here this week. Jumped some superb team competitions over the last season for Belgium, and now here looking to qualify for this Rolex Grand Prix. Partner Jeroen Dubbeldam will certainly have given her plenty of advice, as he's both been, well, triple been Olympic, world and European champion, but she's had a really good run in the last 12 months.
Yeah, she has, and coming off the back of a good run last week in Ocala, and this horse that Jerome actually found when he was judging in Fluinge at the Young Horse Finals in Sweden. He bought it as a 6-year-old, and now this horse has come right up to the top, and I know owner will be watching closely at home. And Annelies really has been in great form, and she's been counting for the Belgium team, and this horse has really come together with her as a super partner. You can just see her trying to set up for this line the whole way. She was just in trouble the whole way, wasn't able to get the horse off the hand, and ran into the front part of that very holy
the rainbow fence.
Yes, the rainbow fence.
Finishing on the 4:76.06, so quick round there, but it is 1 down on the 4. Like I say, top 12 to go through. It'd be very interesting to see whether we do end up with 4 falters going through. I'm not sure we will, but we'll see. Thoughts here, just as you say, they were just not quite getting the pace they wanted into this.
Yeah, it was real hard luck. She came over the wall, and she could see she was trying to set up. She probably counted the number of strides she wanted to do there, and she was trying to get set up on that number, and actually in the end got too deep.
Yeah.
A very, very hard luck, because the horse jumped super with her the whole way around.
So 2 gone, 2 on 4 in the very early stages of our qualifier. Now to a lady who's accomplished more than most, and that's an amazing career for Laura Crouch and the Cherry Knoll Farms Bisquetta this time. Winner last year in the Rolex Series in Dublin. She was second in the Aachen Grand Prix as well. She's won Olympic gold. She's won Olympic multi-time silver for Team USA as well. This is going to be one I'm going to keep a very close eye on, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. Laura been getting back into great form. She had a bit of an injury earlier in the season here, but the fighter that she is and the worker that she is, she got herself sorted out and back into the saddle. And Bisquetta is such a wonderful jumper for Laura. Like you said, had that great win in Dublin, and her owner is here watching closely today. Great supporter, Cherry Knoll Farm, of course, great supporters of Laura over the years. And this will be her ride also in the Rolex Grand Prix on Saturday night, and looked so far looking really, really top. You can just see the spring off the ground from Bisquetta, making these jumps look very easy. A little bit of a twist there on jump off. Laurel just want to just keep the balance now. It's good. Seems that this last line is very much about how the riders get this turn, jump the wall, and then vitally important to have good balance coming to this oxer. Yeah, she took the 6. I wasn't sure if some would do it, but she's done it, and she did it perfectly. And that will have sent a signal now to the warm-up arena.
Looks very good, 76.09. Laura Crack gives us the first, the clears, like I say, 12 to go through. They'll go in reverse order as well. So the time will be crucial for that, because whoever is the fastest clear will go last in the second round here too. So it's all about qualifying for the next stages. Jess, a little look here through this palm triple combination.
Yeah, wonderful. And you can just see Bisquetta has a little bit of a way of jumping. She just pushes her behind the saddle. She pushes her body a little bit to the side, and that's where Laura's core strength that she has is able to really balance the mare in that particular situation. And I must say the times so far have been very good. So
yes.
It's going to be quite interesting how this pans out, because the lowest score has been fenced down. We've had a clear round in the first 3. Are we going to have more than 12 clears? They're going to start hurrying now. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this all pans out.
21-year-old Ansgar Holchers Jr. now, Pixel K, winners of Grand Prix here last year as well. In fact, he's won a Grand Prix the previous 2 years here in Wellington, had a super run in the last few weeks here as well, finishing also 4th in the Challenge Cup, which is this very same class just a few weeks ago in the 5-star as well. Now for the 21-year-old, good opportunity. But like you say, when you're looking for qualifying spots, I won't say the time lag becomes irrelevant because it's pushing time on you, but you're always going to be making sure you're maybe up just to that little half beat on what maybe you normally are. Yeah,
very much so. And Ansgar's really been having a great season with his trainer Rennie Tebble, of course, himself a superstar rider, and he's been going a little bit between here, Terra Nova, and mixing it all up. You know, he's young and he's still learning. His parents are wonderful supporters, and he's had some great results, like you said, here during the season. There's a lovely shot in through there. Yeah. Just has to really keep the balance. See his body perfectly straight, beautifully ridden down through there. Lovely to see his body language over that double of verticals. Super.
Lovely round from Ansgar Holchers Jr. and Pixel K, so they will go clear as well. Time allowed, as I said, 81, but their time 78.88, so just a little slower than that of Laura Kraut, so she has the advantage at the moment, but got a lovely shot coming in here.
Yes, lovely to see that. I mean, the whole line, he rode so beautifully in great balance, and that is one thing that the German school of equitation that Rennie Tebble has been training him over the years. You can really see how it benefits. He's a tall guy, and he has to really work to keep his body that still on the horse. Lovely to see.
Now on to Vaclav Stanek for Czechia, based out here in the US as well, with the team alongside Daniel Coyle for the Grange family, for Ariel Grange of Canada. This is going to be the gelding Bike Caprice. There's also been a ride for Daniel before now as well. Quinton, he had an amazing season last year. In fact, he won just a couple of weeks ago in Live Oak, just a few miles north of here. Well, and also there's been a Grand Prix winner last year up in Canada at Spruce Meadows. As part of the European Championships in 2025. And again, Jess, for him, great opportunity, good owners. He's in a stable with another top rider as well, which is always going to be a benefit. Yeah, very much so. Ariel Grange, a fantastic supporter of her riders, and she's very true to her riders. She really gives them chance, supports them through thick and thin. And Vaclav has really worked his way up, coming from Czech Republic, and really worked his way up. And with Quinton, he's found a great friend, and they've really found the way to manage this horse. He doesn't go too often. Won 2 5-star Grand Prix in Calgary last summer, broke my high jump record in Calgary in September last year, but I do forgive him for that. It was an amazing event, and jumping super here today. But I must say, our course builders, I think that they're going to get a little bit warm under the collar at this stage. Look at that. Yeah, good clear. And so 79.34. And so okay there for Vaclav Stanek and Quinton, so third best of them at the moment. And like I say, they're jumping themselves into position. As you say, this will start to develop as a class. They'll start to see more and more results in here. So you, as you go further in, go, hey, there's a lot of clears here. I need to need to get a little bit more pace on this.
Yeah, there's two scenarios going on, of course. There's a scenario of the riders who say, okay, my main goal today is to qualify for Saturday Night Lights, for the big Rolex. And there'll be other riders who are really just saying, okay, I feel comfortable that I'm going to qualify, I'm going to compete in the class. So there will be a couple of little scenarios, but at this stage it looks, if you want to be in that top 12, it's going to have to be a quick round, and it must be clear.
There we go. So Laura Crowd has the quickest of them with Bisquetta. 3 of those on a 0 score, 12 to return for the second round. The rest will be placed on their first round score. And so that will again determine their position all the way through come Saturday night, or whether they qualify or not. We will see. But Marilyn Little and the game days, Heidi von Imhoff for the next of the US riders. A great career that she's had. It's also included a sensational eventing career too that saw her to a Pan Am Gold. And in fact, it was due to be Tyser Owen. Looks like we've gone to Marilyn Little. And Marilyn with Heidi von Imhoff. She was actually twice been on the podium in Grand Prix this season here in Wellington as well, which is all the more fascinating because twice she was second and twice she was equal second. So she was on the same time as somebody else in the field. Not only is that very rare, the fact it happened with the same rider in the same venue in 2 different Grand Prix, one of which was a 5-star Grand Prix just a few weeks ago. That was a lot with La Contessa, fabulous mare that she's been jumping, but also been winning some very good classes with this horse. So I'll be very interested to see with this mare that's going to step up here.
Yeah, very much so. And she also jumped double clear in the Wellington Nations Cup when they won.
Yeah, for Team USA there.
Unfortunately beating us.
Yep, you being Ireland at that point, yeah.
So, yeah, but she's really been having such a wonderful time. And I must say, her mum, I remember her mum also riding. So it's really in the blood, in the family. And she has been doing really well. And like you say, not just with La Contessa, but also with her other horses like Heidi here. Some great results this season. And this course jumping so well, the distances riding well, the horses are very used to the arena at this stage. The riders, majority of the riders are very used to this arena. You could see at the beginning of the season, sometimes struggling a little bit sort of, as I would say, up and down the hill. It's not quite a hill, but it's
a crown.
It's a crown, yes. But they were struggling at the beginning of the season, and now you can really see the horses and riders who've been here. They've got it. They understand this, lucky. And I think this is why we're having so many good rounds.
Very good round there for Marilyn Little, and she knows about speed as well. It's going to be actually second fastest, 76.64. Marilyn Little and Heidi von Imhoff. Laura Kraut the quicker with Bisquetta. Now, I've also had somebody asking me about what last year looked like for this class. Well, 4 faults was a qualifying score last year to get in the top 30, but there were quite a few 4s, so you had to be a fairly prompt 4 as well.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see today. But as we say, top 12 will go in reverse order, and then beyond there, they're placed on their first round. But Marilyn Little, plenty of encouragement to the last year. Just that white plank on the front there. So we just had a little switch around because this actually is Tyser Owen of Australia with Mike Smith's Hialeah B for the horse that she's ridden so brilliantly in the Grand Prix. And actually, Marilyn Little tied with Tyser Owen in the 5-star Grand Prix here 3 weeks ago, something like that.
That's interesting.
So the two are together. They were together there. She jumped a brilliant round, but couldn't be separated on time. And so Tyser, who rode at the Olympics last year, running for Mike Smith, American owner here, who's been a wonderful supporter of the US squad. Also, a number of horses with McLean Ward as well. And I mean, again, if you watched, which you did, I know, Jess, watched this combination go back onto the Bainbridge Grand Prix, jumped superbly. So hopefully more of that.
Absolutely brilliant. And I mean, it's interesting to see Teresa, she knows this horse, Tyser, she knows this horse inside out. Practice arena is sometimes a little bit tricky. She's been getting some help from Marcus Beerbaum. But in the ring, this Hialeah is such a wonderful competitor. Of course, from the great Emerald. And they've really had a very good run. As you said, they've been second in 5-star Grand Prix. They've been third in 4-star Grand Prix. They've had a very good season here. Jumped on the team also in that Nations Cup, the WEF Nations Cup, where they were 4th, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, leading rider for their squad through several of their the fewer opportunities that Australia as a team gets to go and compete with World Championships this year. That's also key for them. But Tyser at the moment,
Just
looking
you can just
down the,
yeah, you can
the
just
head
see
for
she
home.
has to set her up a little bit there,
Yeah.
but you're starting to get a little bit feisty. Oh, very good. This horse, very, very clever. Oh, well ridden. That'll please her owner.
Super job there. 76.66 ties Rowan, and higher lead to be putting another 0 in there. Third best in qualifying at the moment, 76.66. Just looking, Marilyn Little, only 200ths of a second quicker than her. So the two of them like to stay close together. Keep an eye on whenever those two go.
You like that statistic,
I
don't
love
you?
that, because the fact the two are tied and literally this time 200ths of a second apart.
We can make it into a competition. who can get closest all the time?
Who's getting closest to these two? So ties Rowan, high lead to be for Australia. Third best, Laura Crouch at the moment. Best in qualifying with Bisquetta, 76.09. Kevin Jochims now of the Netherlands, and another new face here this week. This is the gelding Casquetto van de Hele for the 11-year-old for Kevin, who's a past winner of major Grand Prix through his career. Dublin, Hickstead back in the UK as well. Last year winning Grand Prix in Šamorín back in Slovakia, winning Nations Cup team there as well. He rode individually at the Europeans in Spain last year, and I say headed here for this big week too. This US Equestrian Open Series event as well.
Yeah, Kevin is a very accomplished rider here with his two greys. Has had some good results up to 150 level with this horse. Spent a bit of time in the Sunshine Tour this year. Was on the Belgium team last week. Sorry, Dutch team last week. Just changed his nationality, poor Kevin. He'll be all right.
Headed over from Europe.
Yeah, exactly. But this course just really jumping very, very well here. Nobody having a problem with any of the distances. The only thing they're just having to pay attention to is this line after jumping this wall as they go down the hill, that the horses keep their balance and that they get a lovely shot over this oxer to set them up into the double verticals, which everybody except for Laura has done 5 strides, but she made also the 6 look beautiful. Oh, that's a great ride from him.
No, 79.83, lovely round. A little bit steady in the rest so far. Like I say, it'll all depend. Top 12 to go through, but as I say, we're looking a little back at last year, but obviously different day, different course, however it's going to play out. Clears, one would hope, would be in qualifying today from our just over 60 in this. And as you say, you can decide really whether you're trying to go for the higher qualifying place or you're going, I just want to get in,
yeah,
and then I'll deal with it from there.
But I have to say the scenario at the moment, it is looking like you really should be riding this a little bit like a table A class. So it's, you know, it is against the clock, because if you do get unlucky and have a fence down, if you're not quick, you know, you're going to be gone.
Now to Tom Watchman, the 21-year-old from Ireland, has been based out here all season as well. Won last year the London Grand Prix. The Coolmore Show Jumping's Tabasco de Toxandria Z, the Stallion by Thunder Than de Zoetdover. Now, as Irish team manager, you can probably tell me more than I can lay out here for him.
Well, I can certainly tell you there's a very good combination. They've been in form now for a long time. Has already jumped double clears for Ireland and Nations Cups event. Jumped a great round in the LLN last week. And this horse has really come into form now while he's here. And Tom, for his early age, really experienced, determined. Understands this horse very well. It's a horse with a big stride, and he can really use the stride to his advantage. Just see the ease with which this horse is jumping. These fences will be his horse for Saturday night as well. Nicely ridden there through the corner, lovely balance. Beautiful. Look at the time.
Going to be 2 for time, 82.60. Lovely round from Tom Watchman and Tabasco de Toxandria Z, but it is not clear. It is 2 for time, which is very nicely done, Jess, but we will see whether that puts them in the danger zone or not. I think they'd probably be okay, but that does leave you with a few deep breaths to take for the next few hours.
Yeah, you would like to think with 2-time faults that the qualification is fine, but it's, you know, it's sad not to be in that jump off. But I think he really, you know, he knows himself. He can feel the time himself. He really rode today for the qualification, and he wants to be part of the game on Saturday night, which is fine.
Certainly does. I think he probably will, but we'll see. I'm not going to stick my neck out too early.
I think it should be okay.
On here. Yeah, world number 7, France's Nina Malave now, the Rain family's Dynasty de Belfort combination that have been jumping clear after clear, which has been wonderful to see. And so they've been continuing up in the top 5s in the Grand Prix here in Wellington, winning across Florida as well. Had an amazing season last year. Part of the Rolex series, she won the final stage in Brussels as well. And I mean, she's such an accurate, effective rider, isn't she, Jess?
Oh, she's such a good girl. And she really has a great team behind her. Helena Storman's training her, and the Rain family supporting her with wonderful horses, and also with their presence. I mean, it's one thing to have a sponsor or owner giving you horses, but it's great when they're present and with you and living the ups and downs together. It makes the whole thing so much fun. It's great to see how involved the Rain family are with Nina. And there is a statistic, Stephen, but I'm scared to say it in case I get it wrong, but she has jumped, I think, so many of her last 5-star rounds clear. It's a huge number. She just, I think it's a record of what these two have been doing now in the last months. I saw something last week, but I don't want to make a mistake and say the wrong number, but she definitely is holding some kind of special statistic from how many times they've jumped clear. So it just shows the consistency of this combination. And yet again today.
Well, there we go. Another clear to add to the list. I think we're up to, I think that's the 14th of the clears that she's jumped through first rounds and through Nations Cup as well with Dynasty de Beaufort there, Nina Malave. Great consistency once again. I won't get too bogged down in that, but I will get high on the fact that is the quickest of the clears. 75.76 there for Nina Malave and Dynasty de Beaufort. So not only is she clear, not only is she in there, she is very much competitive in there. She's looking for that top spot.
I think we could say she's probably going to be in the jump off.
You're probably going to be.
I think we could say that at this stage.
It will stick our necks. 22-year-old Mimi Gottschman, another of the young stars now from the US. She actually won this equivalent class back in the early part of the season, the first 5-star Grand Prix week there as well. She's become more and more a part of the US team. There's a former rider of Roberto Terran of Colombia for the Rocking Basilisk Farm of Kentucky, Iron Maiden. And has just, again, produced a fabulous lineup with this horse as well. Again, clear after clear. She won a World Cup in Ocala back into the middle part of February as well. And she's continued to step up as a 5-star rider, but still only at 22.
Yeah, very exciting talent for the American sport. Trains with Dara Kenny. And as you said, she won the World Cup there in Ocala. I saw her win that. It was really impressive at her young age. Just how much yeah, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's tough. She has lovely balance. I've heard that she's very good at it's either the Hunters or the Equitation. She's also there, you know, this is a top girl. Yeah, you see how she just helped her horse, sat very quiet and just let Iron Maiden get sorted out coming out. Little touch in the plank there, but it stayed.
75.66 going to be clear there too for Mimi Gottschman and Iron Maiden. So time is going to be a big factor because she's actually quicker. She's the quickest now of the clears. Nina Malave, 75.76, 10th of a second quicker. Massive margin, that is. Mimi Gottschman, 10th of a second quicker with Iron Maiden. But I make a joke of it, but the reality is the level now we're at, Jess, that strangely enough on a piece of paper looks a big difference. If you try and put that into reality, you're barely blinking your eye.
Well, that's it. But that's the beauty of the sport. It's so close. And that's also one of the things that makes it so exciting for the riders, because it's not always the same person that wins. It's really, there's so much possibility in our sport to be able to get up on the top.
29-year-old Alex Matz, winner of the Grand Prix here just last week in Wellington as well, with the same ride, Junior Canan. So beautifully set up for this week. The Matz family all steeped in equestrian sport. Dad, who was a major US team rider. Mum was an accomplished Grand Prix rider herself as well. And much of the family also still competing in the sport too. But right on the back of a Grand Prix win last week, makes more of a step up into this level. He was a former winner of the World Cup in Toronto as well, based out of here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Alex should really be feeling very confident this week after that win last weekend. Really give him a great boost coming in to this competition today. And like you said, it's a great family setup. Everybody really steeped in the horse business and all very successful. He did a good job there. Oh, I thought he got away with it. Oh, that was hard. Like you could just see he got a little bit on the stride he didn't want to be on, and he sorted it out. But unfortunately, that triple bar was just a little bit too wide for the stretch there. He's pretty good on the time so far. If he can just keep it going now. Oh
no. And that's going to make it harder. Like I say, you're then starting looking at the barrel of tomorrow with the top 10 coming out of tomorrow's speed. 2 dropping today is going to be 8 there for Alex Matz and Junior Kenan. And I was going to say, I mean, previously that might be something we're looking going, maybe it'll be on the edge. I don't think on what I've seen today and the size of the field it will be, but another shot tomorrow. Yeah,
that's a no-chancer for today. And like you said, there's 10 will come in from that speed tomorrow. So he does have another chance. But of course, you know, it'd be nice to have the job done today.
Suddenly the margins start to feel smaller. Yeah. So with Alex Matz on the 8 and Mimi Gotchman, quickest of the clears so far. So we're already on 8 on a 0 score, top 12 to return. Amy Miller now, the Canadian Olympian. And with Jagger HX for Team Eye Candy and their home base of the Millbrook Farm. Amy again, a family steeped in the sport. Dad Ian, who was known as Captain Canada, the stalwart, the leader of the Canadian team, and he is still as the team manager now on his feet there as well. But for her, accomplished, she was part of the Rio Olympic Games as well. Been many times Grand Prix winner.
Yeah, very much so. And like you said, Dad still very busy, still riding and managing the team. And I think giving the team great motivation with his personality, with his experience.
And interesting, I mean, from Amy's point of view, leading into a big year, she's jumped a little lighter into these big classes this season, so certainly been saving in this direction.
Yeah, I think it's really important, you know, when you don't have a big string of horses like she does, you really have to plan your horse. And of course, this year is also, it's a very big year. We've got World Championships this year. We're only 3 months into the year. You know, when you've been here all the time,
yeah,
you feel as if you have a whole season already behind you. So it's fun watching the riders, you know, who plays the waiting game, who runs all the time. And she's certainly been playing the waiting game. And I really hope for her now today it's going to have the right result. And it's looking good coming to the last jump. Come on, Amy.
Keep coming a little bit steadier on the time. It's going to be 78.65. So it's the 6th best combination so far. 9 of them having produced a clear right now. Mimi Gotchman the quickest of the group. But clears coming aplenty there with some superb riding on a fantastic lineup here. So you're certainly going to have to be on your game today.
Yeah, we've only had 13 starters.
Nicely through the triple combination, but again, you look at the quality of who you're working with as well.
Well, that's it, and I think Guy also is, you know, he's wanting to get a test for them today, but he wants plenty kept in the tank ready for Saturday night. So it's not a backbreaker, the course today, but what it is the riders have to play the game.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah, they have to understand, you know, where they can shave off the seconds, and if they have a fence down, that it's quick enough to slip in.
And also putting in perspective, let's join with Zoe Hancontra of Belgium and the age 5 Sport Horses age 5 combination here. Cacophony for Zoe, and this has been there by Chaco Blue for her. Has jumped very well through the Grand Prix back into the mid 5-star Grand Prix here for the Modon Grand Prix. Finished 6th spot there. Also gone very well with different rides, which became more a part of the Belgian lineup. But I was going to say, we've had such quality as well. If you walk this course any of the time, you're going, that is plenty of course out there, and they're handling it so well because of the sheer quality we've got, but catches the middle part of the combination. Now, going back to that combination, because we haven't had a chance to talk about that too much, the way he structured that, talk to me about that, the test through there.
Well, I mean, it's a very delicate colour combination. He's used the sand colour, of course, of the ground. He's used a very light green. The other greens that we have on the course, of course, the Rolex green, which is a very bold green.
And the height in the middle?
The vertical in the middle is, of course, higher than the oxer coming in. So, yes, the horses jump in, and that's exactly what caught Zoe and Cacophony there. The horse jumps in, and he just stayed a little bit with his body weight on his front end. And then he wasn't able to get up quick enough to jump that tall vertical. And it hasn't really caused that much trouble yet, but it's like everything, you know, it's just another jump on the course which can catch them.
Just coming home on the 4, like I say, they're going to be in more of the deep breath zone. 78.80, so just the 1 down for Zoe Hank-Conter and H5 Cacophony. Yeah, back at fence 2, the US Equestrian Open fence. And then Jess here into this triple combination, as you were talking about the middle part.
Yeah, you can just see he jumps in and keeps his body weight there in front and just knuckles on that vertical with his front leg. He just needed to have his body weight a little bit more behind there to get up.
Ken Farrington now, the world number 2. Ken's with Descartes SR for a newer combination for him. That's for those of us in Florida have been following this, jumping also in Ocala, as well as a 9-year-old that came up from Mexico as well, from the Pascals there as well, and looks very good indeed, on the rise here. So this is a good opportunity. Kent is in the pre-qualified lineup because he's a Pan Am individual medalist. So he also has Greyer here this week, that he won, 2 big 5-star Grand Prix with us last year. He won 7 Grand Prix, 5-star Grand Prix last year. So amazing form. But again, it gives him a little bit of breathing space, a good opportunity here that, yeah, he can give this horse a run, he can go for a good place, but he's not under pressure. He knows he's in for Saturday. Yeah,
but this is certainly one of the great abilities that Kent has always shown over the last years. He's really able to produce his horses, and he's continuously producing horses into his team. Sometimes he sorts one out of his team that he says is maybe not exactly his horse, and it goes on to be successful with another rider. So he's really well able to judge what is his kind of horse and which ones really fit the team. And like you say, it goes without discussion that Greya will absolutely wait for that moment under the lights on Saturday night and will be one of the hot favourites. And this very exciting young prospect here has the opportunity to jump in this class and get a little bit more mileage, and gives Kent also the chance to understand how this horse reacts in a competition like this. So everything that he does is really well thought out. Got it?
You could hear a verbal whoa.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Nicely done from Ken Farrington and Descartes as they go around in 76.86. And so the world number 2 going into 6th place at the moment into that second round. But again, for him, he's keeping Greyer under wraps, so he can take a run at the class should he wish with this 9-year-old today. But this is a good building class for him, for this horse, for big 5-star Grand Prix. Yeah, very much so. And it also gives him an opportunity in a competition like this to measure where he is with his horse against some other top combinations. You know, it's all very well jumping in 150 classes and everything, but it's great to jump the level of the class against good opposition, because then you can really feel where you exactly are with your horse. Caitlin Campbell now of the US, and Carrius has headed over from the West Coast. Another circuit been taking place through there in the winter, and that's been wrapped up. So several heading coast to coast here to now go for the finale money here as well. A number of good placings through Thermal. And back into December as well at the couple of 5-stars that they had there too, and on the podium in the World Cup there as well in the early part of this year. Rider Uso jumped at the World Cup finals last year. Carrius a little less exposed for this 11-year-old gelding by Van Gogh. Yeah, Caitlin, a very good rider, and with her lovely Castlefield Cornelius, really good at the World Cup final last year. And I think, you know, that exposure had been very good for her. That was hard luck there. Another one you can just see was unsettled in front of the triple bar, and then the push off the ground was not what was needed. But she really has had a great Thermal tour as well. And like you say, coming down here, she'll be looking now to keep it on the 4 and try to sneak in with a qualifying spot. Time is pretty good.
Ooh.
Last is going to stay there. He can breathe again. 75.91, just on the 4 there for Caitlin Campbell this time, and Carius so goes into 12th place at the moment. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say not going to be part of our 12 to return, but like you say, hoping for a top 30 finish now to be in for Saturday.
That was very brave of you there, putting your neck on the line about the top 12.
I know.
Your mathematics are nearly as good as mine now.
I'm getting brave at this point. This season I'm getting brave. Unfortunately, has the back bar of the triple bar there. Down 2 meter spread across that, coming down to that next swan vertical, the skinny there at 158 after that as well. René Dittmer, the German rider, is also spending a lot of time based here in the US as well, but also, of course, a good European campaign last year on a winning team at Hickstead. He's won over here in the United States in Grand Prix. He won the Hampton Classic Grand Prix 2 seasons ago. He won the Highlands Cup 5-star last fall as well for him. And he's been a really good, consistent performer for the German squad, hasn't he? He was on their winning team last week in Ocala as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, just beating the Irish.
I just love the way you just wait and rub it in at the end. Thank you very much for that.
Salt on the table.
Rennie really very hard worker. I mean, he's from Holstein in Germany, and he still runs his business in Germany and here. And like you said, he's become very, very consistent. And this Cody has really upped to be a very, very good horse for him. Very calm rider.
And again, a lot of that big success has been with Corsica, so he's just now moving Cody up. Cody's got a really good solid record, 150, 155.
Yes, very much so.
Still in this vicinity here, but just a little move up for them.
But I think he's really been using the season over here to get this horse the exposure to make the step up. And it really has been successful the whole way. It's had some good wins. And it's great for him to have this horse now coming up behind Corsica just to support Corsica. When you're jumping at this level, you really do need a team of horses. It's very difficult to do it with one because you're saving all the time. Very clever the way that horse jumped through there. Lovely.
Just going to finish on the 4, 77.40. It's 4 there for René Dittmer and Cody. So obviously we'll go a little further down. We've got already 10 clears from our list of what we've had. 17 go? So 10 clears out of that. 4, we'll just wait and see. Like I say, 4 was in the list to qualify, but there are also a lot of 4s last year that didn't qualify as part of the top 30. So who knows right now. Just doesn't quite get across the stretch of the farm vet fence.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, there's a slightly less experienced horse, and they just on that line over the 2 black jumps, they go over the crown of the arena. So literally the last stride is going down the hill. And what you could just see there, he got up from the front, but he didn't stretch then from the back.
And again, put it in perspective, like we say, they're making a good job of the course, but that's a 160 spread. It's not small.
No, of course not. Of course not. But that's the beauty of this level of the sport. We have so many great combinations out here. And they're, it's a culmination of the season here. The horses and riders, they've got great experience under their belts and they're in good form.
On good form is Kyle Tim last year as well, winning the Canadian National Championship. Again, riding for the Rain family, the owners of Nina Malave's horse that came up a little bit earlier on as well. And Casino Calvin has again played what part they can in Canadian teams. Finished well in the year. He's been in and out of competing here in Wellington this season as well. The season runs from January through to right now, which is the end of March. He's based out in France.
Yeah, Kyle Tim very good at feeling his horses underneath him, understanding his horses, and really gets them to perform for him.
And I interviewed him earlier this year as well as part of the shows we do here, which is exactly what he was talking about. And he said, well, okay, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to see how my horses feel, and I will feel out where they need to be, and I'll work the plan from there. There's a plan, but it would also depend on how the horses feel about coming into that.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you hear people talking about horsemanship all the time, and put a definition on horsemanship. It's all about the horse, the rider really understanding their horses, and seeing what they need in order to perform at their best, and how often they can bring that.
79.45, it is clear. It goes into 10th at the moment, top 12 to return. I'm going to keep reiterating that. 12th place right now is on the 2 time faults, Tom Watchman, Tabasco de Toxandria Z, top 30 from today to qualify for Saturday. Kyle goes into 10th, Casino Calvin. Nice round again, probably not going to be fast enough to be part of the 12, but should be back with us on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a qualifying spot, but I think he can take the saddle off now and head home for the day.
Chill for the day.
Yeah.
Mimi Gotchman, quickest to the clears so far. Iron Maiden going last in round 2 at this point. 18 gone. Just around 60 to go in the first round. And Nal Nasser now of Egypt. Evergate Stables are here in Wellington's ESI Ali pair that won a Grand Prix here last year. Rhino's ridden through to Olympic Games. And regular here with a base here in Wellington, Florida as well. Again, been a pair that actually finished second in this very same class a few weeks ago as part of the Bainbridge 5-star week. Good battle there. I think that was against Ben Mayer, if I remember.
Oh, you could just see he just got slightly into trouble as he went in there, and he really tried to help ESI Ali out of it, but it was in the triple combination. There was just no more hope. Like you said, that was really unfortunate because that's done his chances in, at least for today. He'll have to ride the speed class if he wants to get qualified. I can't see an 8 falter at this moment of the competition. I can't see an 8 falter getting into the qualification, but you never know. ESI Ali, another wonderful horse that was produced by Seamus Hughes Kennedy and gone on to Top Sport with another rider. And Niall will be very disappointed with that. He's had such a great lead up to this. This horse has really been in form, jumping great. And that was just a really unfortunate thing. Well, hopefully we get the chance to see that now again.
Yep, 8 faults, 74.16, although it was quick for ESI Ali and Nal Nasser. It actually puts them into 18th position, like I say, based on what we've seen so far. Probably unlikely to qualify. Jess, let's take another look here.
Yeah, he just runs, it comes in there. This is a better angle. You can come in and you see he drifts over to the right and then he doesn't get straight to jump and then he's way off on the right there and it just becomes too wide. He just got that little drift off to the right and that stole his scope. Great shame.
Making it longer and longer all the way through. Rider who's been second in the Rolex Grand Prix before now is Roberto Duran, that goes next, a long-time partner for him in Des Uctof. And the highly accomplished horse that's now, what, 18 years of age. Horse he rode at the Olympic Games as well. And actually, again, has not used this horse too much this season, but again, unwrapping this horse that's got a podium finish already in the Rolex Grand Prix. Yeah,
very much so. And you can really see, like you said, Stephen, he's been campaigning this horse very, very carefully. Popped around here, popped around in Ocala, had good finishes in the Grand Prix, wasn't on the podium, but he was there or thereabouts, and has really been setting up for this weekend, playing the game of patience, which is so necessary when you don't have a big team of horses. And like you said, he's now a very seasoned competitor, knows the job inside out. I'm talking about the horse, of course.
Oh, you know, both have got plenty of experience. Unfortunately, the Swans just dropped down there, and that is one that, coming off their triple bar down to 158 vertical. That's sort of what you might expect would happen more often, actually.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the caliber of the horses and riders going around in this competition, they just make these jumps look as if they're about 1.30 m. But actually, this is quite a serious track that's been built here today. But we really have great combinations in super form.
Just on the 477.83 for Roberto Terrain. And so for him, he'll go a little further down, goes 16th of the 20 gone now in the first round. Here we take another look here, Jess.
Yeah, you can just see he's trying to balance, but he just isn't able to get the horse in a shape waiting. He just gets dragged up to it, and unfortunately he wasn't in the balance to jump it clear. But it's quite a statistic when we've only got 20 done and you're in 16th with a fence down. I mean,
yeah,
it's
11 clears out of the group. Lacey Gilbertson now. And Bellamy for Lacey, and Seabrook of Illinois Right, who trains with Shane Sweetenham, has for a number of years. She's had some super results before now. She's been top 3. She was on the podium in the American Gold Cup a couple of seasons ago. Went very well in the Grand Prix in Kentucky last fall too. But again, with a 9-year-old here, this is the first time they're really taking on something in this caliber.
Yeah, I think so. But this is, you know, Shane feels that both she and Bellamy are ready for this. And he's been working hard with her.
And it's been interesting to see, because we get to see the whole season here. A couple of combinations that jumped in the 4-star here last week, which just gets you nicely to that level to hit this and go, okay, we'll keep that momentum going. Some have stayed back, kept the power dry, and others go, right, you're different ways of getting to the same target.
Yeah, very much so. And some horses, they're better when they jump more often. Some horses are better when they're a bit fresh. But certainly for the younger riders, getting in the ring and getting good experiences, you know, you carry that through. When you had a good weekend last week, you carry that through to this weekend. You know, there's nothing nicer than arriving at the show and people saying to you, oh, well done for last week. You know, that's a real confidence booster when you arrive and people are saying, you know, you did well last week.
The big difference here is you don't actually leave.
Yeah, well.
So you just sort of continuation. Couple of days off. Looking good so far. 1 from home for Lacey Gilbertson and Bellamy. Will be... Plank catches them at the last, 78.77, so just on the 4 for Lacey. But final fence there just catches them away. Plank on there to look at, flat cups at the finish, and all the time you can't discount that last fence.
No, and I really hope that she didn't come out of the double of verticals and go, oh, I'm still clear.
Yeah.
Because that's like the kiss of death, isn't it? You know, then you try to protect something, and you could just see her working hard the whole way to that oxer to find the stride, but just getting dragged that little bit too deep. But still, it was a very, very good performance from this young couple.
Just seeing the top 5 there of our 12 that will return. 12th place right now is Tom Watchman on the 2 time faults with Tabasco de Toxandia Z. Mimi Gotchman is last, so she would go last in qualifying. So she's the best of that group. I know that sounds slightly oxymoron, but the best at qualifying at the moment. Laura Kraut, I hear, will not be jumping off. So she's already said that she's going to hold things together for later on in the week. 24-year-old Jack Whitaker now. Son of the great Michael Whitaker. Michael jumped here many times in the United States as well. Jumps very well in the Grand Prix just last week, further north in Ocala as well. His first time coming in to try and qualify this time for the Rolex Grand Prix with this horse, Jack JL, which is a Dutch-bred stallion by Quasimodo Z. Jack, already in his youthful careers, has finished top 5 at the World Cup finals. The British rider from up in Nottinghamshire direction in the UK.
Yeah, Jack and Jack have really found each other. Jumped very well for the team last week. A little bit of a slower moving horse, but Jack really has found the way together with this horse. Gives him time to make his jump. He's found also the ways he's been able to sort of learn to cut the corners a little bit to get inside the time. It still is a challenge for them. But oh, there you see, he did cut the corner there to try and save it, and he just got caught out. He needs to mind himself now on the way to the last.
Now, leave this up. The saving grace might be an okay time for this. We'll see. On the 4, 77.38. Goes into 15th at the moment. 3rd quickest of the 4s without getting too bogged down in that. So, potential for qualifying yet for Jack Whitaker. And Jack JL, been moving this horse up through the big classes as well. Say first time in the sunshine for this pair together in Florida. As you say, just the turn up to that rainbow fence.
Yeah, he's just that little bit slower off the floor, and he cut the corner there and had to unfortunately pay for that. But he can sit and suffer for a few hours and see if he gets in.
Lisa Brosnell, the 21-year-old, also from California, been competing through the circuit in Thermal, just outside. Not too far from Palm Springs. 21-year-old who's been placed in Grand Prix there. Also competed at the World Cup finals a couple of seasons ago with a horse called Cardenta. Trains with Cassio Rivetti, who's a highly accomplished rider himself as well. Also established himself on the California coast.
Yeah, very much so. And Cassio here with Eliza this weekend. And like you say, she's been campaigning really well on the Thermal circuit. Great circuit out there on the East Coast.
Yeah, gave him a good taste of some of the 5-star competition there in the early part of this year. Finished 6th in the Grand Prix in the early part of the year there.
Steady. Nicely done. A horse with a huge scope. Of course, the Picobello breeding has brought many a good jumper into the sport. Good girl, Eliza. Stay calm.
Going to give you a very good round once again, and so they will produce a clear at 76.17. And so Elisa Bros there going into 4th best of those in qualifying. Consort Picobello Z. From what I've seen of them so far this year, they've been very, very consistent. Big beaming smile across her face as well. Here's the turn back into the triple combination down the palm tree line, but gets the nice clear. It does mean that it's clears only as part of our top 12 now. And so Kevin Jochims in 12th place, 79.83. As I said a little bit earlier on, a lovely round for him, but that probably is going to be more in the qualifying spot based on the number of clears we've seen so far. I think we'll see some quicker ones than that. Those around the 75, 76, maybe a little more in the safe zone. We'll see. We take us to Pier Giorgio Bucci of Italy, right, who's also competed on both coasts. This is Francesco Rinaldi's Hantano, gelded by Quasimodo Z for this 14-year-old now, for the well-established Italian rider, from European medals to World Cup wins, notably with this horse as well. Several very good performances too. Great to see him over on the East Coast here. Again, he's been a regular the last few seasons, competing out in the US.
And Hantano really has been such a solid partner for him now over the last couple of seasons. LLN Horse of the Year last year, jumping so many clear rounds for Italy.
Top turn in Geneva as well in the Rolex Grand Slam event there, one of the 4 majors to compare to the other sports.
Yeah, he's really very, very clever horse, very careful. Sometimes his style jumps with a little bit of an open front leg, but he knows exactly what he's... Oh, dear. Oh. That's the problem. You see, he hasn't been here. This horse hasn't been here. And I've seen a few other horses have a look at that wall the first time they've seen it. Turned in from the in gate, not concentration, saw the wall. That was very, very hard luck for him. But he reacted very quickly. But I think it's still going to put him into a very difficult situation.
He's going to have time faults as well, I would imagine. Yep, just going to sneak one of those. Actually, surprisingly, done a very good job to get back and round and going again. 81.64, but 22nd position at the moment already. 30 to go through. Pier Giorgio Bucci looking very good with Hantano, but here it did not work out.
Certainly did not, and you could just see the horse didn't even get his eye on the wall whatsoever. It's not... You know, I've never seen Hantano do anything naughty. He just didn't get his eye on the wall. But the quick reaction from PG was really fantastic.
And you can see how quickly he came back round, went absolutely square centre, no trouble at all.
That's it. And I've seen a few horses doing that here now, and the first time they've seen the wall.
Certainly not a first-timer here in Wellington. Regular here. Several big wins behind him this season. Ben Mayer, the world number 3. The British rider now a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 2-team and individual gold in Tokyo as well. Dallas Vegas Batty, this is the horse he actually rode to win the team gold in Paris as well. And already this year, brilliant rounds from them, but still just looking for their first really big one on the cards. He's had Grand Prix wins, he's had plenty in there, and he's such a consistent, brilliant rider. I was about to say he was in the jump off a few weeks ago and they had a little issue, but another here.
Yeah, just not going exactly to plan for Ben, and sometimes happened to, but you could see, yeah, that's never, we like to see that. We don't like to see anybody on the ground like that.
Both going to be okay. They'll get the bridle back on, but obviously the end of the rounds for Ben May, just see down on your screens as well, all okay. Ben is well accomplished when knowing exactly how to put the bridle back together, but unfortunately that's a little bit of a surprise in there. He's going to be
I think
and
poor
fighting for qualifying tomorrow.
I think poor Dallas just as shocked as anybody. Just
Yeah.
It's so sweet to see the horse just say, "Well, oh, sorry about that." Yeah, this is the name of the game. Nobody is spared from those difficult moments in this sport. Doesn't matter what you've won and who you are.
Ben, winner of this class last year.
Yeah, and you can just see Dallas took a dislike to that jump. And then I think everything was just, the shock and everything was just so, you can just see here, Ben tries to come around again, but the horse is still...
And give the horse the confidence to say, okay, go. And unfortunately, more of it, I'm afraid. Tried to give every opportunity, but just didn't happen. Like I say, fantastic horse. I mean, it's a gold medal winning horse. Brilliant in Nations Cups team competitions, and they've won a lot together. So it's a little bit of a surprise, that one. But not to be for Ben Mayer today of Great Britain, Dallas Vegas Bati. Marie Demont now, France. First timer here as well. And this is Fauban de Belliard. It's the French-bred gelding by Upsilon for our next for France. Headed over for Team France last week in Ocala as well. She's been jumping a number of the World Cup circuit back in Europe too, notably finishing well into the World Cup in Bordeaux in France in the early part of this year. I jumped last year on the Rolex series in Dinard in France, heading down the Normandy coast. Beautiful spot there. That Grand Prix was actually won by American Aaron Vale.
Get the feeling you quite liked it down there, Stephen.
It's lovely.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I have to just agree with you on that one. It's a great neck of the woods. And Marie's very, very successful, rides many horses for the Riverland stud. Very successful rider. Another one who just came here for this event, this arena, new to them. Lovely to see how Fauban just saw, oh, that Oxford's a bit wider, and just stretched a little bit for the back bar. Lovely jumper. Oh, a little rub there. She rode it really well, but just had a little rub coming up. Mind the wall. Good girl. This is really nice. Oh, come on.
Looks good. Marie Demont and Fauban de Belliard building a really nice partnership with this horse, 75.83. Real first big season for this pair coming together. Third best in qualifying at the moment means Kevin Jochims comes out of the top 12. Kyle Tim in 12th place right now with Casino Calvin. As I say, it's not a partnership I've seen a lot of, but the little I have, they really have been producing the goods.
Very, very exciting horse. Great prospect for her. They did jump clear already in the Grand Prix of Bordeaux, but really you can see here how this horse is gaining experience. A horse with a big future. Lovely.
Yeah, looking good. So France in there. In fact, two for France back to back. Nina Malavé was just that little bit quicker. Fellow French rider is second best at the moment. Marie Demont there into third. Mimi Gotchman best in qualifying at the moment with Iron Maiden. Looking in a safe position. Those a little more in danger. Those around about the 78, 79 mark in terms of seconds. But clear at this stage. Whether they'll be in the top 12, I'm going to throw it out on the table. They'll be qualifying for the Grand Prix, but in terms of qualifying for the second round. Katie Dinan, Grant Rose Partners of New York's Out of the Blue SCF for this US rider that's won a lot here in the United States, from the National Grand Prix, which is a very famous one, through to the President's Cup in Washington as well. This was the horse she actually rode at the World Cup finals last year for a top 10 finish too. Trains with Beat Manley, the Swiss Olympian, who actually won the Grand Prix here a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah, it was actually lovely to see Beat having that win. He's been over here now for many years with Katie. They formed a great partnership, training, and this lovely horse that she bought from Shane Sweetenham really formed such a brilliant partnership together. Jumped clear recently in the World Cup in Ocala, just had a time fault. Come on, Katie.
Whoa,
Yeah,
yep.
she worked hard for it there. Yeah, she's set up really well. You can just see she wanted to jump slightly to the outside to get the outside line coming down here to set up well for that oxer. Has a little rub on it. She's having quite a bit of luck here. Come on, Katie.
I would say wants to be about the 75, 76 mark. Takes the run at the last. It's going to be 76.69 for Katie Dynan. And out of the blue, SCF puts them in 8th place at the moment. So we'll see whether that puts them in the top 12 in the end. But Katie there, very good round with what has been a very good combination together as well. Here at the Rolex fence.
Yeah, lovely to see that. I mean, the generosity of this horse and the partnership, you can just see how Katie just says, come on, we need to move over there. Beautifully done.
So Katie gives the horse a pat. She heads on out, waits to see whether they need to return later on. And in the meantime, last year's winner, in fact, the previous year's winner, twice on the bounce, Christian Kukuk, the world number 6, the Olympic champion. That has twice been with the horse he won the Olympic Games with Checker. This time has been really this season producing a whole set of new horses through and giving them more development. This is one of them in Fantasia. Last couple of months, this has been really their first time. Jumped runners-up, of course, in the Grand Prix of Ocala, the Nations Cup just last week as well. And then Checker has flown out in the last week or so to be part of this finale, and the recent team win for him last week as well. So again, he is already pre-qualified as the Olympic champion.
Yeah, but I think
what have you made of this?
Well, I think this is a horse that he's been producing, and it's a very delicate horse, and he spends a lot of time. He takes it on the double lunge. He plays around. You can see he's riding there in the hackamore, and the horse has really stepped up in the last weeks. But it really shows, you know, Christian, he worked for, I think it was 17 years for Ludger Beerbaum, and moves out here to be with his wife and his daughter. You know, complete life change, wins the Olympics, has a life change, putting together a whole new team of horses. And at the same time, Checker's still back in Germany. Ludger's jumping Checker at his 2-star show, setting him up to come over here. Checker comes over here, jumps amazing in Ocala last week, and is probably going to jump amazing here under the lights on Saturday night. So it's really the team of people behind these top riders, and you know, the passion with which everybody's working towards the same goal is just, it's so special in this sport.
Just on the 4:75.05, Christian Kukuk and Fantasia Devai for them. And so with the finish on 4, puts them down into 16th place at the moment. Like I say, Christian is pre-qualified, which means there are certain medalists that automatically get into the 5-star Grand Prix here. He is one of them. Also, he doubly gets in because he's the previous year winner with the same horse as well.
Yeah, and I think, like we said earlier, this is a great opportunity, like Kent was doing with his horse. It's a great opportunity for him to get this horse in. Yes, it had a great result last week, but it's still inexperienced, so to get these rounds under its belt.
Charlotte Jacobs has become more and more a part of the US team over the last couple of seasons as well. Playboy JTZ finishing on the podium, back onto the Modon Grand Prix 5-star week for this pair, but also they were a winning pair as part of the US team here last year in the Nations Cup, so that's when the different countries compete against each other. For those not familiar with that, as I say, she finished top 3 with this equivalent class back about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. She's really built a nice partnership with this horse that were top 5 at the Hampton Classic Grand Prix last year as well. She was also on a winning team for the US with a different ride last year, but she's again been going really, really well. Has been working a bit more with Kent Farrington's team this year as well too. Will be really interesting to see. But again, family steeped in the horses. Daddy Roediger's a Grand Prix rider, and they've been heavily involved in the young horse finals here. But just catches the first part of that triple.
Yeah, I just towed out the first part of the triple there, and like you said, her family really steeped in the horse business, breeding a lot of young foals, and breeding in Ireland with Greg Roderick. So there's a lot of animals, good animals coming out of there as well. And Charlotte, like you said, training with Kent Farrington.
Now here, Jess, you're on the 4. You start to get a little bit more under pressure. You've got to get some speed here, but that tends to lead you into a mistake of what you do. Do you stick to your plan?
Well, I think the best plan to go, it's best to go in with a plan to ride this if it's a bit of a speed class, because it's like everything. When you up the ante after you have a mistake, the risk to get another mistake just becomes so much. So it's kind of like you want to go in with a good plan saying, you know, I'd like to ride round in a 74, 75, something like that. You need to look at results. She's just done that. I don't know where it puts her.
Full fault 75, 51, and so puts her 17th.
Yeah, which is kind of
possible still.
Yeah.
Possible.
Kind of.
Kind of possible.
I think I
I
might need to up my speed a little bit there, but I think it's really important at this stage of the competition that the riders say, you know, I've got to go in, I've got to look where I can cut the corners, and I do need to have a plan to ride low 70s, because there's always a chance of having a fence down.
Charlotte Jacobs then has a waiting game now to see whether they qualify through, or say there's also the qualifying tomorrow, top 10 tomorrow. And then from that top 10, if it's still there are spaces, it goes back to this class. They start going off this list again without getting too lost in the details.
It's one of those
here.
hugely complicated, actually very simple, but sounds hugely complicated qualifying system. But the riders know what they're doing, so that's enough. The viewers just enjoy the sport.
Exactly. You'll see who you see on Saturday night. Eduardo de Menezes there. Early rail for him with H5 Nakandu. So for him, I mean, he went fantastically. He was second in the recent World Cup qualifier in Ocala as well. Brilliant rider, rode at the Olympics in Rio. An early rail, I suppose, is the only slight thing is you can say, you know, you've got to get a leg on. You've got to get some speed now.
I still see it as a risk in a course like this.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I feel at this stage, certainly if it was my own, or if I was having one of my students going, and I'd be saying, this is now the plan.
Yeah.
Because if you can, you know, everybody does speed classes also at this level. So if you just, it's not a case of being reckless. It's just having a slightly quicker plan than you perhaps originally would have had.
Brick comes off the top of the wall there. And so that's actually going to put another 4 on there. So yes, you can see they had a time fault too. Well, not time fault there, not yet. We're going to add another pole there. Not quite sure where we got the time fault, but anyway, that's going to be 12 by my reckoning in there, but a fast one, 73.73. So that is going to put them down 12 fault, 73.73. So unfortunately, that's going to be outside of qualifying without any doubt at all for Eduardo. And unfortunately, again, the pole coming early and just not able to recover from it.
Yeah, that was a shame for Eduardo. He's had a very good season here. He's been building horses, and he works for many years now close with the Hank family, and really a great rider and great producer. But he could come back. He's one of those people. He'll have another shot at it tomorrow.
So we're going to take the halfway stage of this, a little bit of a breather as well. And as you can see, blue skies up above. It's like somebody's painted it. Absolutely stunning up there. All in symmetry, the clouds
yes.
up above.
Lovely little fluffy
that is
clouds.
actually real. I can tell you that is real. That is not a generated backdrop. Looks absolutely fantastic. Beautiful day here. It's looking a very nice day for Mimi Gotchman with Iron Maiden, best in qualifying at the moment in this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here this afternoon. Nina Malave, second best. France with 2 there in the top 3. Top 6, we see Americans getting in there. Laura Kraut, now I already know she's not going to jump off. Elisa Bros there is 5th best in qualifying. Marilyn Little in the qualifying positions as well for round 2, top 12 to return. That's half of them. The other half look like this. It's down to Vaclav Stanek for Czechia there from the Czech Republic with the ride of Quintin in 12th place at the moment. Ken Farrington in the mix. Tyser Irwin for Australia. Amy Miller for Canada, and Asghar Holches Jr. and Pixel K for the USA. So we're going to be back in a few moments' time with the second half of round 1.
SCAD, students have the opportunity to design their own creative careers.
There's no better place to come if you want to incorporate horses with your education. I can come out to the barn and ride every day.
The better rider I am, the more I'm going to know my subject, and it's a huge part of what fuels my passion when I'm painting them.
It's really nice to be able to see those students continuing on with what they're passionate about and being so successful.
Well into the qualifying today for the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here in Wellington. Plenty of clears coming out of the field, but 12 to return, 30 to qualify from today. Jessica Kirsten alongside me. Jess, interesting that quite a few clears coming out of what is a strong enough track out there.
Yes, definitely. When we walked the track, everybody said, oh, this is enough to jump and it's technical, but certainly we can really see how good the horses are jumping and the riders are giving it, you know, a beautiful ride. So it's actually jumping very, very well.
And also, as we've been saying, that sort of changes the pressure then, doesn't it? Because you're going to be in the realms of going into, you know, you've got to go quick clear.
Yes, very much so. I think now outside, at the beginning, people were giving themselves time to go clear, but now you can see it really has up. Now it's the sort of the early 70s. People are wanting to get round there. So it changes really the scenario on the track.
Okay, let's take a look at a few of the areas around the course that maybe cause some of the tougher points here. Here's one of them, and it is going to be the double coming towards the end there. Just starts dropping a couple of places.
Yes, you can really see there that it's so important down the hill in that turn for the riders to have the balance, and also here again it's coming down the hill and turning to that triple bar. Very important for them to know exactly what their plan is. And here you can see the horses have to, that was a great shot of how the horse jumped in a little bit too far and wasn't able to back off the vertical coming out.
So fairly well spread out in terms of faults. The last fence has fallen a couple of times from that point of view, but like I say, they're handling this very well. So again, I think when we're looking at times here, you and I start to look 76, 75, you're going to have to be in that area if you're starting to talk about the top 12, and the clear you would hope is going to put you in qualifying. I think it will put you in qualifying.
Yeah, I think we can, and it's very important. It would be very sad to think that a clear round wouldn't qualify you, but I mean, this is the scenario, but I do think the clear rounds will qualify, but that top 12, it's going to get quite hot to get in there.
Some really interesting partnerships in there. We saw some nice stuff from Ken Farrington and Descartes in there as well, with, of course, their Christian Kukuk, Fantasia. They can now put those away. If Kent is going to be part of that second round, should he wish. But they can then start to those going a little later can then think about the other horses for the weekend.
Yeah, very much so. And I think we also, the likes of Marie de Mott's horse, that was really impressive to see how that young horse jumped. But certainly the big guns now, they're going to sit tight and wait for Saturday.
7 elite 5-star Grand Prix.
They are shows you just want to be your best. You can really feel the weight of the history when you come here.
He will jump maybe the biggest 10 feet of the year.
It takes determination and hard work, not just great horses.
It's nice when your days have a rhythm. But what happens to that flow when you go from working to retirement? A free personalized retirement income plan from Fidelity can help you make the transition wherever life takes you. It can help you keep your income and investments on target and give you a clear view of your cash flow, so you can feel free to explore. Fidelity can help you take on retirement.
Well, welcome back, and these are the top qualifiers at the moment, top 12 to return for the shakedown of this $116,000 class yet. The key is also on the qualifying for the Grand Prix, for the $1 million Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. here on Saturday night. Completing half the field, 30 combinations gone. The same remaining yet of our lineup. And Mimi Gotchman best in qualifying at the moment, so she would go last in round 2. So she's very much still in the battle for the prize money here of $116,100. Nina Malabé, second best in qualifying, the French doing very well there, with Marie Demont amongst that group too. Ansgar Holches Jr., 11th in qualifying at the moment. Vaclav Stanek on 79.34. Those in the danger zone for coming out of our top 12, but I'm pretty sure we'll be qualifying for Saturday night. Kent Farrington, as we see, still in there with Descartes. And then further down the list, 30 completed combinations. Top 30 at the moment, obviously, is that group. Same amount to come forward again, so that's going to be plenty of those to look and try and shake that up. So if we were looking for the same again, we'd have ended up with, we've got 14 clears at the moment, that would be 28 clears if we ended up with the same perfect scenario on that.
That would be okay.
That would be fine. There would be 2 others qualifying on some time faults probably,
so then,
and that would be about it.
So then Tom Watchman will be in with his time faults and life will be okay.
And life will be fine. We will see what happens. It could be a very different... but as I say, we've had a very, very good lineup come through our first group as well. It's strong from top to bottom all the way through here. I can tell you coming up in our second group includes that of Carl Cook for the USA. There goes our first after the break. Mario Delorier for Canada. Nicola Philipparts. Cian O'Connor for Ireland. I'm just picking out a few names here, but of that top 30, Rodrigo Pessoa, Brazil. Shane Sweetnam of Ireland. Richie Vogel of Germany. We've got Daniel Coyle, Lily Keenan. It's down to the last few. Dara Kenny, Donald Whittaker is going to be last to go for Great Britain, but those are just a few of the names of the 30 to return in the second half of this $116,000 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. A good few clears coming out of this, but as we said, plenty of jumping in there. We look at the height of the fences, it's definitely no giveaway. The quality of what we've got here is coping with this very, very well. Just getting alongside me.
Yeah, Stephen, you're absolutely right. Guy built and his team built a lovely course today, delicate, tricky enough. It's jumping really, really well. There's only small mistakes coming, and in the end it's about who can ride the smoothest clear, not have to take big turns, nice and neat, keep the rhythm the whole way, and either be in there with a clear or a fast 4. And it is, when you look at that start list that we have for the second half,
Here it is.
Yeah, you really, it's very strong.
Talk me through who you sort of are going to have an eye on here.
Well, always Carl with Caracol, wonderful combination. Julian Angentan has been in very good form. Michael Duffy, Mr. Quirley Z, coming up really into this level very well. Of course, Natalie Dean, Mr. Bombastic, have been jumping brilliant. Daniel Blumen is always there. He won the big final, 150 final last week. Mario Delorier has been producing these horses beautifully. Gadget Mush with Nicola. I mean, this horse has been going great. Roy Van Beek, he jumped a double clear last week.
Yes.
Cian O'Connor, he jumped double clear for us a few weeks ago in the Nations Cup here. And then Adriana Sternlicht, Michael Graver, he's always the anchor man there for the Dutch team. So we really have a list. Bertram Allen, his lovely Conquest, jumped a clear for us last week.
Us being the Irish team, because you are Irish team manager.
Mark Bluman with Landon, look how well they've been going, the wins they've had. Elena Haas with her lovely Claude. Rodrigo with Prince, they were doing very good in the 3-star Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Shane Sweetnam has been winning loads with Korean. Abdel has come now with Max. He's been jumping great out in Doha. Right, I have to breathe. Emily Conte, Portobello, Richard Fogel with Claudio, jumped a double clear.
Let's go back to those two, because Emily was the winner of a 5-star Grand Prix here last year to the Bainbridge Grand Prix. Richie Vogel won the first 5-star Grand Prix of the season as well. So, I mean, there's plenty of established franked form here. There's the final few. Dara Kenny, Eddie Blue won the last 5-star Grand Prix we had here as well. And this combination have won and won. Olympic team silver.
Yeah, but it just shows you how important this Rolex Grand Prix is this weekend for the riders and their horses. We really have got the pick of the bunch turning up here for this amazing weekend of show jumping.
Carl Cook, who's already been a twice winner in the Rolex Series as well, the Rolex Series that takes place. This is the US stage. They head across to Europe and to some wonderful events from Le Ball to Rome to Falsterbo to Dublin, Brussels, to name but a few. Dinah, of course, as well in France. And Carl has won Rome, the previous year, back into 2024. Last year, winning in Falsterbo in Sweden. And Caracol de la Roque has been ready to go here. He started off the season in California. And again, he's been gearing towards this.
Yeah, very much so. Carl is always very particular about his plan, how he aims for something with his horses, together with his long-time trainer, Eric Navet. And he really takes his time to learn his horses, to understand them. And he's formed a brilliant partnership with Caracol, who of course was also already brilliant with Julian Epiard before.
But talk to me about this mare, because I mean, she's unbelievable. She's a huge talent, but they've, as you say, spent a long time cementing that partnership.
Yeah, very much so. But Carl really takes time, and I think that's one of the great strengths that he has, when he's not frightened to go out and take a risk to buy a very good horse, but then he really takes his time, also like now he's doing with Foxy de la Roque, also another lovely combination. And he's just taking his time with Foxy, not really going for any big things yet until they know each other inside out. And you can see now, these two, they formed such a great partnership. They know exactly what they're doing together.
Going to be a time of 75.77. Carl Cook and Caracol de la Roque is the third best in qualifying now. Pushes down Maurice Damont of France into fourth place. He's still behind Nina Malave and Mimi Gotchman. He's going to book his place in for Saturday, but gives himself a good shot at this as well. Be interesting to see what he does, because this will be his Grand Prix horse.
Yeah, very much so. And you could just see at the Rolex Oxer there, he was a little bit off it, and he just gave the impulse to Caracol and said, come on, girl, do your stuff. And she just said, okay, that's fine.
Stuff done, as they say. So, to France. And Julien Anquetin, who's also been jumping out in America last season as well, with the ride here for Didier Levy, is Beau de l'Orbreizet for Julien. And already well-accomplished combination together. He's won Grand Prix back in Europe, finished well in Hong Kong this season as well. He was a very good finish through the World Cup finals. Last year has been jumping on the World Cup circuit throughout this winter. And again, part of the French lineup headed over here just last week as part of their team.
Oh, really nicely done down through the triple. He just had to get himself organised slightly out of the turn. Beau de l'Orbreizet has really been going very well from him. Of course, also previous ride from his compatriot Kevin Stout. And these two really found each other and really get some great results. Julian, a rider who really can go fast in a jump off. Seen so many good rounds from him and the lovely Blood Diamond. He just has to get his balance now here coming in. Ooh, little rub. Well done, Beau. Oh, and that's a fast clear.
It is the fastest of the clears, to put it in perspective. There for Julien Anquetin of France and Beau de l'Orbreizet, and so will be the best in qualifying. Actually pushes there with Mimi Gotchman off the top spot. With Iron Maiden, Julien Anquetin best in qualifying now. Pushes Ansgar Holchers Jr. out of our top 12. Amy Miller now in 12th place there on the clear at 78.65. And actually that was a horse I was just looking at, was Kevin Stoke rode to win the Dinard Grand Prix as part of the Rolex series as well. So that is a fantastic partnership there. Julien Anquetin, we've got the 3 for France up in our top 5 there right now. And already swiftly underway with our next Michael Duffy. And the G-Sport horses, Mr. Quirly Z, for the Mayer family as well in there, that have Genevieve competing earlier on today too. Gelding by Mesito van der Helevhoff for the rider who's a part of the European Championship silver medal winning team previously in Milan. Superb producer of Grand Prix horses too. And Jess, you'd have kept a close eye on this pair as well.
Yeah, very much so. Michael, as you said, very good at producing horses. And this horse is really... He's had sometimes a little bit of time off and come back, and now he's really been patiently producing the horse over the last weeks up to this level. And the horse really stepping up and doing a great job. It's a very exciting prospect here that he has in this horse. And just see how he took his time through the corner, judging his time and knowing that the horse just needed a little bit of time to balance up for the wall there. Beautifully done. Patience in his riding. Here also, Mr. Quirley jumping really exceptionally good here.
No, it's going to be a good clear, a steadier clear, 81.02. So actually just means they go over the time allowed of 81. One time for Michael Duffy. And Mr. Quirley said goes 17th at the moment. Has a chance of being a part of that top 30. We will see. But a really nice round put together for them, Jess.
Yeah, very much so. And when you see where they've been coming from this, this last 3 months, this has been a work in progress. And he's a rider that feels a lot his horses, and he just came around the corner there, and he just felt he needed time to get the horse straight, to get it in balance. Yeah, it cost him a time fault, but it should be okay for Saturday night.
Fingers crossed for that one. Michael Duffy and Mr. Quirley into 17th position. Top 12, Amy Miller in 12th at the moment as we start to shape up our 30. And those coming outside of that, we'll deal with that more a little later on. Crystal Blue now for Samuel Parro of Chile, Olympian from Tokyo. Multi-times Grand Prix winner here in Wellington, Florida as well. We haven't seen too much of him this season as well, so it's great to see him back in action here. Well-established stalwart as he's been over the years of the Wellington shows. Son also has been competing through 5-star level. A little touch through the triple combination.
Whew, yeah. But when you look, we haven't seen much of him here this winter, but his results, he's lost a shoe there by the looks of things. His results have been incredible in Mexico. I mean, he's been winning one Grand Prix after another. And I think that mistake was a result of the shoe flying off on the corner. Horse slightly imbalanced then in its body. Yeah, you can just see that now that it's two different rounds. The first half of the course and now here. That's a bit of a shame for him. Yeah, everything falling out the window now.
Yeah, no, it's just going to probably pull up at this point because they're not going to gain any ground here. And so raises the hand, looks down, but not to be this time for Samuel Parro and Crystal Blue. And as we can see here, exactly what you're talking about.
You can just see there.
Swings. Was there a shoe there?
It's a stirrup.
It's a stirrup. That's what it is. Because it didn't look like a shoe to me.
Oh my God! It wasn't the horse that got him balanced. It was the rider that got him balanced.
The principle was the same, but he was without. Yeah, he's without the stirrup there, as you can see.
Oh dear.
Just if we're looking on the screen on his right side. So from his point of view, as you say, you're actually absolutely right when you're talking about loss of balance, but it's his balance he's got to keep then at that point.
But we've seen many a good rider get imbalanced once they've lost their stirrup or their shoe. I mean, it's so important. I mean,
I will point out how rare that is.
Yeah, but the equipment, the equipment has to be functional. It has to be pretty in the second place. It has to be in the first place functional. And I see some of these stirrups that just hang on, and there's an open side and stuff like this. Yeah, I'll not start teaching the granny to suck eggs. I'll just sit quiet here.
Well, that's what happened anyway. The stirrup came off, so as I say, it's a pretty rare occurrence for that to happen. So unfortunately, he's lost the balance there. But anyway, we're moving on. Natalie Dean, Mr. Boombastic. For the US rider who's been jumping superbly for the US team this year. This is Marigold Sport Horses, originally hailing from California, now based here in Wellington, Florida. Just gets tangled up in that middle part. We haven't talked too much about that line really and how you expect to ride it. What is the take on that one, Jess?
Oh, well, the thing is in this arena with it having the crown on the top, as I would say, jumping on the side of a hill. When you turn a corner down a hill, it's so important to have the balance with the horse. I mean, the rider has to really feel between their legs where the horse is. And we might be able to see there on the replay, because she's been having such a brilliant time with this Mr. Bombastic that she bought from Dennis Lynch, and such a great combination. And Natalie's been jumping brilliant on the team, jumping clear rounds for the team in Abu Dhabi and in Ocala. But you could just see that she lost slightly the balance as she turned to the triple combination, and I think that was enough for the mistake. We might be able to see it again.
Just on the four, time-wise 76.37, so puts them a little bit further down. It puts them into 23rd position, top 30 to qualify. So again, they're going to have a little bit of breathing to do. I'm not sure that will be quite enough to get them in here. Turn back up this line here just as they come into the combination.
Yeah, and there you exactly, she turns and she slightly overshoots her turn, and you know she turns him in front but loses the hind end. He changes lead behind. You can see here he changes lead, and then sorry, that's a different corner. You can see how he changes lead, and then he just didn't have the straightness and the balance to actually jump that clear. It was a great shame because they've been going so good together.
Top 12 remaining unchanged then, with the 4 faults there for Natalie Dean and Mr. Boombastic. Daniel Blumen about to come into view, winner of the Grand Prix here, well, winner of the MS final big class here last Saturday night. He's actually a former winner of the finale Grand Prix here in Wellington as well. Was quite a young man when he did that. He's also been part of multi-Olympic Games. Daniel with Abigail Wexner's Hummer Z. Enjoyed his battle here last week. Now he's back into the fray here. He's actually finished top 4 here 2 years ago with the fabulous Ladriano. He's a multi-5-star Grand Prix winner here before now. 2012 was when he won the finale Grand Prix here in Wellington.
It's not that long ago. He's still a young man.
Exactly.
Nicely down through there with Hummer. You just see there how he tried to just support the horse with his outside leg in the last 2 strides, just to keep the horse straight so as he would have good power to take off on that triple bar. Lost it slightly there on the turn, but got it organised. Needs to try and keep it calm here for this line. Oh, beautifully done.
Very nicely done, and it's a good time, 74.25. It is clear there for the ride for Daniel Blumen, and so puts him second best in qualifying right now with Hummer Z and Julien Anquetin of France. Top of that list at the moment. Amy Miller comes out of the top 12. In fact, Kent Farrington in 12th place now with Descartes. And so Daniel Blumen putting himself very much in the fray. 4 falters now coming into the top 30. 30th position, 4 faults first of those to get there with Tanaka Rotkin. Those are the best 5 at the moment for returning for round 2. A total of 17 clears at this point. Now the grey of Inside of My Heart for Mario Delorier of Canada. The 4-time Olympian riding for Aram Apokumium, who in fact himself was a professional tennis player. And Mario on fine form in the last few weeks, was second in a big Grand Prix here as well. Been producing 2 very good 10-year-old horses through.
Yeah, this is a lovely horse. Both horses really nice, and I mean it's no wonder that this horse has got a name like this, because if it was my horse, it would certainly be it would certainly be Inside My Heart as well. And Mario has been patiently producing, but this horse has jumped so many good rounds. Oh, that was a bit unlucky there. Might just have rushed through the corner a little bit, but then of course that's the name of the game, isn't it? In this competition now, there's no time. Oh, that sealed it for him. He'll have to come back tomorrow and have another shot.
Yeah, top 10 to come out of tomorrow's class as well. 8 faults will put them outside of qualifying, and certainly already does.
Yeah. But doesn't take away from this horse, who's really having an uncharacteristic day.
Well, and again, it's been a step up as they've been coming through. They've been jumping through the 3 and 4 stars very nicely, just starting to get into the 5-star groove. Finishes on a total of 12 there, 76.10. But as you say, very nice looking horse that he's been patiently taking through. And it's amazing what a few more months and 12 months on the clock is going to do with this pair.
Yeah, and you could just see he's been always very patient in the rounds that he's jumped with this horse, and of course now, because of the scenario of this course, of this qualifying competition, you're kind of forced to up your tempo a little bit, so it makes everything, for a younger horse, it just makes everything happen that little bit quicker.
Belgium now, and Nicolas Philipparts, the world number 16 for the Belgian rider with Gadget Mouche. Has also been here with the Horsey Road to a European team gold with Katanga, but has been winning quite strongly with Gadget Mouche. Plenty of wins last season, including in Tryon in North Carolina with this pair. Been winning up in Ocala too, north of here in Florida. Former winner too on the Rolex Series back to 2024, winning the Le Boule Grand Prix.
Yeah, Nicola has a great record. Had some lovely horses, and Gadget really has moved up over the last 12 months. Got the experience and had now some great results.
Yeah, went very well in California at the tail end of last year as well.
We had to work hard there. Beautifully reacted there from Gadget. Of course, Nicola will be really hungry to win that Rolex on Saturday night. Just see how he saw himself. He was going to get dragged a little bit too deep, so he just sorted himself out. He's got quite a high tempo going on here the whole time.
I was just looking at the time.
Careful now. Come on, Gadget. Perfect. This is a good round.
One from home for Nicola Philipparts, and Gadget Mouche is going to be home in a very good time at 75.06, and we'll put him third best in qualifying now for the Belgian rider. Pushes Ken Farrington out of the top 12 of those returning for round 2. And into third position. Jess, little look at this round, but again, a little bit less experienced horse here. The 10-year-old with Nicola did very well as a young 9-year-old last year, and he really gave this horse every opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Great support. Nicola at this stage of his career has got a lot of experience, and his dad Ludo is here, and you know, when Ludo's here, the boys don't mess about, because when Dad's there, the pressure's on, and they know they have to perform.
They can deliver either way. But those are the top 10, as you can see just on the leaderboards there. 12 to return for the second round. Top 30 to come back through. That's 30th position right now is 4 Fault Zoe Hank Conter on 78.80. Roy van Beek now, the 24-year-old, another new face here in Wellington this year, was part of the Belgian team last week as well, so has headed over for a couple of weeks here in Florida. Former young rider gold medalist, pair that started the season very well with Grand Prix top 5 finishes in Spain.
Yeah, Roy is a very talented young rider. Jumped lovely double clear for his team last week, riding for the Heinrich stable in Germany, and he really has got beautiful style and feeling with his horses. And I would say this would be his first trip over here to Wellington. I may be wrong, but I can imagine that this would be his first time here. Just see the lovely rhythm that he has with his horse, and the horse is always round in its top line, always soft in its top line. Lovely connection between him and the horse. Still getting a mistake despite it all. He'll have to watch his time now.
Yeah, going to be on the 4, and his time is going to be 77.65, so it's a little bit steadier on time as well. So goes 28th position with top 30 to qualify and another 20 remaining combinations. As they say, I think tomorrow is going to have to be the day where they pull it out the bag again to try and get part of the top 10 qualifying. A little look here, another one that maybe just cuts in.
Yeah, you can just see, because it's a 90-degree turn and they're coming down the hill, you can see that he kind of, in the last stride, finishes the straightening.
Yeah.
And of course, then the horse shifts a little bit to the inside and it just steals a couple of centimetres from you. Very hard luck, but it just shows you now. I mean, this result really shows where we are, that he's sitting with that round that didn't look slow in 28th position with a fence down. You know, the pressure is really on now.
Cian O'Connor now, and Cian, the Irish rider with the Coolmore show jumpings at Ulysses, the stallion by for pleasure. A well-established team rider for Ireland, has been based out here in the US for the winter for the last few seasons. Has been a regular here and a World Cup winner out in America. And obviously, as you as team managers has kept an eye on all these horses here. What have you made of Ulysses?
Yeah, well, this horse I really liked at the beginning of the tour, and I actually asked Cian to use it then on the team here for the Nations Cup in the 4-star, and he came out and jumped a lovely double clear. Cian just trying with a new combination there. You can just see the hackamore and bit combination. But a horse, very, very exuberant jumper, Ulysses. Also has Chacolino with him this week. Oh, little Rob, but it's okay. Oh, I just got stuck. The time is good.
Just on the 4, 76.08. And so on the 4 for Cian O'Connor, but it goes 25th position with Ulysses right now. 30th is going to be Roberto Turan on the 4 faults at 77.83. Little look back here.
Yeah, he had a little bit of rub of A coming in, and then he had to just help him for B, but he wasn't able to finish there behind. Just a little bit of immature mistake from Ulysses there.
So going to be a tough week into qualifying for the Grand Prix as well. You think we've got 60 in this class, 40 go through, so we've got 20 disappointments through the week potentially for this as well. So it makes for tough work.
Yeah, unfortunately it's becoming the trend a little bit. I mean, we see it a lot in Europe, that we have these kind of qualification situations with so many people falling out, and it's actually really, really tough to be coming to the competition, and you know, when you're one of those people that drops out, at least here we've got really good prize money. In the other classes you have a chance to win something, but it is a difficult trend in the sport.
Adrian Sterling now, and Facutoles, well established horse for her, but just again having to do some work coming down to the water.
Yeah, Adrian's been having a good run, but this big horse, and she just got slightly dragged in on the 7. The same thing here, getting dragged down there, gets away with it this time. Yeah, making good work of it now. She did, of course, have a difficult situation at a water oxer earlier in the season, and I think she probably just gave a little bit of support there as well, ending in the mistake, which is a shame for her because she has been going very well all season. Oh, nicely done through there. How he backed up for that one. Oh.
Yeah, last fence going to go as well. So unfortunately that won't be in qualifying position. 76.92. Adrian Sterling trying to keep it at the 4, but it's 8 in the end. 37th spot with Fecuitol S. Here was the early rail.
Yeah, I just dragged her into it.
And here was the final rail as well. So 8 on the board. Top 12 sees Katie Dynan in 12th position right now with 8 out of the blue SCF, so a 12 to return for round 2. 30th, Roberto Turan remains in that position. And so we go to Netherlands. This is the 42nd of 60 that we'll see today. Dutch rider with the Trelawney Farms at Denver, this US-owned ride by Diorado for the rider from the Netherlands, again part of their team last week. And part of the European Championships last year. Had a nice win in Amsterdam this season too to take them in.
Yeah, very, very solid rider. Michael is a rider that the Dutch really like to have on their team. Very good at getting horses. Really nice shape to jump. Very calm. He himself has lovely posture on the horse in the ring. Denver has been his long-time partner here. And there certainly is for the riders who've come over from Europe. You can tell also that they're feeling a little bit the pressure.
Yeah.
And the riders who've been out here all winter, it's the final. It's very important. It's the most important. It's still business as usual. Whereas the riders coming from Europe, you know, the horse has been on the plane, they're here, they're in the hotel.
It's a new arena for them.
New arena, we got, you know, it costs, and we got to make it happen, you know. So there is a slight added pressure on those who've come over just for this weekend compared to those who've been here the whole time. But Michael doing his usual very, very calm and cool super round.
Lovely round, jumps clear at 76.48 for Michael Griever there, and Denver for them, and actually still puts them in the top 12. They're going to 10th place at the moment, pushes Katie Dynan now to the top 12. 30th position now, Roy Van Beek. Talking of those looking to get into the qualifying positions, he sits in 30th on the 4-fault. 77.65 is gauge for you. Little touch at the Rolex Oxa there, and here the final fence looking very good indeed for Michael there. So, Netherlands in the frame. It is Ireland we go back to now. And Bertram Allen, 31-year-old who's been multi-5-star Grand Prix winning rider here in Wellington before now, again been based here throughout the winter months. The Aloga Stables Conquest de Rigo. 10-year-old jumped superbly as a 9-year-old last year as well.
Yeah, Bertram has done a great job in producing this horse. Really find the way, and also with the Hackamore bit combination, this horse feeling very, very comfortable, and Bertram able to really leave him super soft between the jumps and just have that light contact then in front of the jump. Horse that's really got so much scope and power. Jumped a brilliant first round last week in the LLN.
Yeah, was top 5 in the Rolex Grand Prix last year.
Of course, Bertram also has his old best friend Pacino with him. Probably will be using Pacino on Saturday night, and sort of a little bit of a role reversal. Now steady, good man. Conquest doing the work this weekend for Pacino, it looks like. Beautiful.
Nicely done from Bertram Allen and Conquest de Rigo. 76.65, and so puts Bertram Allen in 12th place right now. And so just getting in there, 76.66 from Tyser Owen, 76.65, so just 100th of a second making the difference there. It may not be enough yet to get in the top 12, but it will put them in the qualifying spots there, as you talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that should be clear enough. That should be no problem for them now, and that was a very solid round from that pair.
René Dittmer in the 30th position now on the 4-fault 77.40. So really they want to be about, we've got a couple of the 4-faulters in the 75 mark. We want to be more in that direction. This was a pairing that was second into one of the big Grand Prix as well this season as well. It is Mark Blumen and Landon. Got so close to a 5-star win, and they've been a newer partnership together since December of last year. And have been so strong. Been Challenge Cup winners already this year too, the Grand Prix qualifying class.
Yeah, and so nice to see that he's been able to put some owners together, that he can keep the ride on this horse, because they really have gelled together so well, so competitive. And this horse just loves to jump for Mark.
Yeah, finished second to McLean Ward back in the Modon Grand Prix. This former ride of Kent Farrington that took Kent to a gold medal at the Pan Am Games, and a medal that also will qualify him for this Grand Prix regardless this week.
Yeah, but it's so nice to see when horses change rider, that they, you know, that they find they were great with one rider and can still find with another rider super greatness. But that's put him very far away.
Yeah, that is suddenly making a massive difference, because they go into 31st position, so already outside qualifying for Marky Blumen there and Landon. Otherwise, with the clear, you were suddenly looking at 16th place. That's a massive difference.
Yeah, that's a huge disappointment for him. I mean, I think he felt his thing really sure here. London is normally such a careful horse there, and really just looked straight through A and had it down. Such a shame for those two.
So big competition pairing may not qualify for Saturday night. We will see. As I say, the second qualifier will be with you with that tomorrow. Only 10 coming out of that, though, until we get our 40 to go through. It is to Elena Haas now of the US, and Claude And a lovely combination together that jumped in Spruce Meadows on the Nations Cup, represented Team USA there last year. She's got a very good record at Spruce Meadows up in Alberta in Canada. That's a venue that stages one of the Rolex Grand Slam events. Little bounce there for her.
Yeah, I saw this horse jumping with her in Spruce Meadows. Really a lovely jumper. And she does a great job with him together. Really nice style of riding. She sits with nice short reins, keeping her balance in the middle of the horse. Yeah, well done there. Big stride, Claude, and she just really balanced him up to have enough room to jump that vertical. Just the last line now to go. Oh yeah, she just kind of rushed a little bit through the corner there. Ooh. Hard luck.
Yeah, just going to be 4 and 74.91 faster time, but again, one fence down is the deal breaker potentially at the moment. They go into 23rd at this point. Okay, going a little bit later into the competition. Still a chance for them. They're 45th, so we've got 15 combinations remaining, but you're still not in the safety zone at this point.
No, absolutely not. And it was such a beautiful round, and she was everywhere so perfect. Here we get a good shot at it. She comes through the corner. You can just see as she turns, she moves up very big distance there. She just saw what we call a little bit of a wild one there. And that was hard luck after such a controlled round the whole way.
Yeah, 165 spread there, so a lot to get across there too. Rodrigo Pessoa, and for the man who's been Athens Olympic champion, world champion, 3-time World Cup champion as well, with the 11-year-old Prince van Eickenlo. It's finished very well here last year with Major Tom. Now this has been a new horse for him. He rides also for the Artemis Equestrian Farm, an exciting horse for their lineup. And this is a step up this week, but they've been doing very well so far this year. Was very keen to see how this horse will perform, and looked very impressive last week too in team competition.
Yeah, Rodrigo got a bit of a bump on his lip last week. It looked as if he'd been in the boxing ring, but he knows the job, and he's looking now. You can just see how he's gently up the tempo.
Yeah.
Was very, very quick through that turn. He's just trying to take a controlled risk now. Got the mistake early. Horse looked a little bit down into that Liverpool.
Needs to be about the 75 mark if he's going to stand a chance here, and he might well do that. Leave it up and you still have a chance. Rodrigo Pessoa, Prince van Eickenlo, good experience there, pays off 74.98. And so Rodrigo goes 24th position. It has a squeak.
It has a squeak, that's what I would say. And it was a well-earned 24th position. Here you see him coming to number 3. And the horse just stutters on takeoff. Is a bit of a cheap mistake, but he made good job of it afterwards. Without noticeably upping the tempo, he just stayed neat everywhere.
Rodrigo second quickest of the 4 falters, 2-time falters there, 21st and 22nd. Michael Duffy and Tom Watchman, both for Ireland. 30th position now is Natalie Dean on the 4 fault, 76.37 with Mr. Boombastic. Shane Sweetnam, another Grand Prix winning combination here this year, the world number 9 with Corian van Klapschutz. Now Shane, who's also been a multi-Grand Prix winner here as well, right through to 5-star level, twice a winner of the American Gold Cup with the fabulous James Caan Cruz, which we'll see whether that's going to be the Grand Prix ride. But Corian has been going superbly. Shane, who was second in Geneva to Kent Farrington in that Rolex Grand Slam there as well.
Yeah, Shane's really been in great form with all of his horses. He's had a wonderful WEF here, and Corian has been really, really on it and successful.
But that's surely there, Jess, where you start to see that you do need such a string around you to play a supporting role, don't you?
Yeah, but Shane's very good at building these horses. You know, he's got a big setup going there. His daughter's riding. He's got a lot of students, and he's also doing his own sport. It's a big thing that he has going, but he's built a lovely string of horses. being led, of course, as you said, by the wonderful James. And James jumped just a nice, easy round in the 140 yesterday, setting up for Under the Lights. And Corian now steady here. That's it, that's it, that's it. Good shot. Corian doing the work, and a very, very competitive horse.
Very competitive round as well. It's going to be 74.45 for Shane Sweetnam. Corian van Clubschutz, and so we'll put them third best in qualifying right now. And so that puts them guaranteed in for a spot. And that sees now 12th place of those 12 to return Marilyn Little, Heidi von Imhoff, Bertram Allen outside of that. 30th place Keane O'Connor, and Ulysses on the forefoot 76.08. Beautiful flowers. Those are our top 5 in qualifying at the moment, because we're talking about qualifying to jump off for this class. So it is a second round competition. Those are 5 of them. 12 of them will come back to battle for the over $116,000 here this afternoon. Abdul Saeed would be like to be a part of that. This is the AS Trading's Max. Now, one of the younger in the field in terms of a horse, 9-year-old gelding by Grand Dorado. For Abdel. Abdel is a multi-5-star winner here at WEF before now too. Was again headed in for the last few weeks, but actually has an American operation here too with Sam Hutton, who's been here throughout the season. So based out in the United States now.
Yeah, Abdel out in Doha, and now comes over here with Max. Wouldn't be as experienced as some of his other horses, but had a very good result actually in Sharjah. When I say he was in Doha, he was actually in Qatar and in the UAE competing horses all over the world. And now come out here, gets an early fence down with Max. You just see him tight as he can around here, very well aware of the time. You just see the riders are so sensitized to the situation with this qualification. Shows how important that Rolex Grand Prix is to the riders on Saturday night. A lot of money to be won, great prestige. And everybody wants to be part of it. Come on, Max. Oh, he got it sorted, but can he keep the balance now for this ox? It was a really tricky moment there for Abdel. Adds here. Yeah, he was trying to save the situation. Relatively inexperienced horse. When something like that happens, it's quite difficult to save the situation.
So it's going to be 8. 8 for Abdul Saeed at 74.19, 42nd position for the Belgian rider. So further down the order unchanged with our leading 12. Let's remind you, Julien Anquetin of France is at the top of that. Daniel Blumen, Shane Sweetnam, we saw the most recent to go amongst that group. Mimi Gotchman, Nina Malave, Carl Cook. A couple of those I'm hearing will not be jumping off. Nina Malave is one of those. Nicola Philipparts as well. Carl Cook also amongst that group. So let's take a look with our next few. We've got 49 gone of 60 in our class say this afternoon. Emily Conter now, the 26-year-old. Winner last year of the Bainbridge 5-star Grand Prix that really launched her up the ranks for the young Belgian rider. Mare by Bameko Demuse.
Yeah, you're very right on that. Emily took huge steps last year with this lovely horse. That win did her confidence so much good. And now she just came back from actually having broken her hand. It was quite difficult. I saw an Instagram post, they called themselves the Broken Sisters.
Oh, because they both had injuries.
One recovering from Zoe recovering from a broken leg, and Emily recovering from a broken hand. So it's quite humorous, their post. But both of them come back strong. They worked both really, really hard to get back in the saddle, get fit. And Emily jumped great for the team last week. So her dad is here as well this week to support his daughters. Of course, Brussels also one of the Rolex series.
Absolutely, the final one of the year.
Their home show. And Portobello looking very good here. Very clever horse. The two of them know each other. Emily knows exactly what this horse needs. Sensitive horse. Likes to run with the head a little bit up, but really when gets there does everything. Oh, keep going, Emily.
Just on 4, needs to be a fast 4. It's going to be a fairly fast 4, 75.01. 4 there, 26th position for Emily Conter and Portobello van der Fruitkorf. It's in the sweating box right now because it is going to be close on there whether they qualify or not. 30th position at the moment, Annelies Vorsemans on the 4 faults at 76.06. Here, Jess.
Yeah, she came quite strong to A and she got slowed down, but unfortunately Portobello just kept moving between those two verticals and was unable to get that jumped.
Richie Vogel now of Germany. Vogel and Will Equestrian's Claudio for the former winner, 2023 winner of the Rolex Grand Prix, the world number 4 right now. Winner, 2 weeks ago of the Dutch Masters, the Rolex Grand Slam Series, one of the 4 Grand Slam events through the season. Coming in on a high, part of a winning team for Germany last week as well.
Absolutely. And jumping beautiful, clear for them. This horse has really, since this horse got together with Richie, is like a match made in heaven. He found his person and has just gone from strength to strength. And Richie's fantastic flat work that he has with his horses, that they're so soft in their bodies. It's really wonderful to watch how the horses use their bodies underneath him.
Partnership of over 12 months now.
He's not leaving anything.
No.
Anything. He's going to make doubly sure here.
Well, and he's already pre-qualified as European champion, so he
can aim for that jump off.
And I would think he will, well, I know because I spoke to him yesterday, Gangster Mondesir will be the horse he'll use for the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah.
So it is going to be the fastest of the group, 70.95. Richie Vogel there, and Claudio means business. I don't think there's going to be any signals to say he won't be jumping off or going in that second round. He's there for the money today as well.
And he's exactly one of those riders that you really don't want to have behind you in the jump off. You know, you would like to see him done and dusted before you ride in, because he just has that daredevil. He has that feel. You know, where other people are counting their strides in the jump off, he just sits up, he sets off and says, you know, we'll just get it done. I'm going to feel where I am here.
Get it done. So, will he get it done today? Richie Vogel and Claudio, best in qualifying. Michael Grever is now in 12th position for the top 12 to return with Denver. Caitlin Campbell on the 4 fault, 75.91, just in qualifying in 30th position right now. Daniel Coyle, Ariel Grange is incredible. The Irish team rider. Many Grand Prix wins out here in the US, riding for the Canadian owner. She has had some good performances in the Rolex Grand Prix before now as well. Won Grand Prix all over with a horse called Legacy too, but him bringing this horse out, and I think the first time they came out they won the Grand Prix in Live Oak up in Ocala too before now.
Yeah, great combination, and as you said, with the wonderful Legacy who's now been retired. Daniel had so many great successes, and I think that was really such a great era for the show jumping from the Grange family. And Ariel, like we said before, with Václav, great supporter of her riders. And Daniel's qualified also for the World Cup final. We'll be going with Incredible, so this is a great weekend on the preparation for the World Cup final to be able to compete here and hopefully in the Rolex Grand Prix on Saturday night. Incredible is in good form. So he'd just be looking here now to get this qualification under his belt. Oh, he was lucky there. Whew.
Not so lucky there. It's coming in very fast. It is going to be on the 4. Is it going to be enough? It's 72.90, very fast for him. In fact, it's the fastest of the 4s. 25th position now. He is definitely going to be in the sauna for the next probably half an hour, because 25th position, 30th position right now, Charlotte Jacobs 75.51 clears. We've got 22 of those, 30 to qualify. Just for your thoughts here, this was quite a quick one.
Yeah, he rushed through the corner there, and Incredible jumped unbelievably off to the left, so he had to try to save the situation and get the balance, but he just couldn't get it done for that vertical.
So Daniel Coyle is on a waiting game with a few of the four faulters in there. Close to Christian Kukuc, although he's pre-qualified. Emily Conte, Rodrigo Pessoa, Elena Haas, 26th upwards to 30th. The 19-year-old Oaks Milky Way, fabulous family horse for Hilary Scott. The horse has carried her through to World Championships, to the Paris Olympic Games as well. Has jumped on Nations Cup here as well. Jumped superbly through Calgary last year too.
Yeah, it's lovely to see a horse that's getting sort of in the high teenage years to be in such amazing form. I feel that this horse is sort of in the form of its life. And Hilary also, super operation in France, her mum breeding so many wonderful horses. There's been great horses have come out of her stable also with other riders. And Hilary, I've seen here getting a bit of help from Laura Kraut. Always great to have somebody on the ground who can just give you a little impulse, check up a few bits and pieces here and there. And that Laura's been doing for Hilary here, so that's been great for her. And Milky Way has really been such great form. It would be lovely to see her now in that Grand Prix on Saturday night and playing a role in that at this stage of her career. Just being patient there, took her time down here just to set up. Very patient ride. Steady. Ooh, finish behind. No, double no. Yeah, she tried to make that added stride to the double verticals, but it just didn't work out for her. That was really hard luck.
No, it's going to put them on the 8, so outside qualifying 76.18 for Hilary Scott and Oaks Milky Way. Earlier part of the course here for them, but it was that double in the end. Both parts suddenly become very expensive indeed for them. Jessica, let's look.
Yeah, she just wanted to add that extra stride in there, and it's very, very short. It's 23 meters to try and add the extra stride, and the mare just wasn't able to cope with that. That was hard luck.
Top 30, Charlotte Jacobs in 30th position right now on the 4-fault 75.51. Lily Keenan and Kick On for the Chansonet Farm. The stallion by Warrior was bred back in the UK. For the world number 28 winner of the NetJets Grand Prix here this season. And so World Championship rider, in fact, rode this horse to win in Rome last year on the Nations Cup there too. Just looking a very impressive horse through the World Cups, jumped through to, she's also heading for the World Cup finals as well. Had a very strong start to the season, but rode this horse to 11th in last year's World Cup final. Again, which was at that point pretty new a partnership.
Yeah, Lily really has got a great team of horses, and she's been a rider has had a very good voice in social media and interviews, and shares her journey in her sport with her fans and with everybody else, which I think is great, because you know, she shares not just a good bit, she shares also the struggles. Has been training for a long time with McLean Ward. They have a great thing going there between them. Really been a great, McLean has been a great trainer and mentor for Lily.
Ah.
Oh, that was a cheap mistake. She just held him off it a little bit. Tried quite hard coming out of the triple.
Now with 4 faults, you need to be round about the 72, 73, early 73 if you're going to have a real standing chance here with not too many left to go. I'm not sure we're going to get to that. We'll see.
No, I mean, she's aware of what she has to do, but it's also, you can only do so much when you feel how your horse is underneath you. If you don't feel that your horse can be bustled, you know, you can't do it. You've just got to let your tempo be a little bit led by what the horse is giving you for a feel underneath.
We might just get there around the 73, just over 74, 84, just the 4 there for Lily Keenan and Kick On. So they go into 26th position. So she still is inside that top 30 right now. 30th position is Christian Kukuc and Fantasia. Remember, he's also pre-qualified as well. Jess?
Yeah, she just held off there, but I think it came a little bit because you can see there he doesn't exactly push evenly off the ground. but he tried quite hard coming out of the triple combination. That was a bit of hard luck. But of course, we have, how many pre-qualifieds do we actually have?
4 off the top of my head.
Yeah, so it will, that will actually then go down to 34th, 35th spot then, because of the pre-qualifieds. So there will be a few lucky...
There could be a few, well, I think it comes out to the 30, so that will change things a little bit. So yes, I will leave that for everybody else to
that's definitely. But I think those who are just over the mark, sort of the ones, sort of the first, let's say to 33, 34, they might just be okay.
Well, as you say, they also go back to this list after qualifying tomorrow. So if any of the top 10 tomorrow have already qualified, yes, it goes back to this list. So as if you're sitting about 33, 34, you might still have a chance.
I think there's a big chance. I think those who are just over the cusp, they'll be all right.
Jordan Coyle on course right now with the Alan Farms Oriso. Has been a 5-star winning horse from in California before now. Just really starting to bring this combination back out again, but already 8 faults on the board. Are going to make it hard for riders also before now being top 10 into that Rolex Grand Prix.
Yeah, I ran into trouble in the triple combination. Of course, with his best horse, Chacolino. So, oi. Two mistakes. He's going to have to come back and try and qualify tomorrow again. Ooh.
Yeah, last is going to go as well. Total 12, 78, 68, 12 for Jordan Coyle. And Oriso this time. So outside of the qualifying spots.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to him. Was sort of what the course builder was wanting, that they got flat on B and then weren't able to stretch for C. Hard luck for Jordan. He's going to have to try again tomorrow.
Well, 6 left to go in the first round of this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup qualifying class. Spencer Smith now with a well-established partnership that have been part of the US teams, both with wins in Dublin, part of Falsterbo last year as well. And for the 29-year-old again, whose family is steeped in the sport here, the Ashton Farms, the Smith family, also trainers to a number of the competitors competing in all rings right now as well. Spencer looking to be a part of the qualifying lineup. Multi-Grand Prix winner here before now as well. This is a pair that was second in the World Cup in Traverse City up in Michigan last year.
Yeah, Spencer's had really very good career up to this stage. Jumped a lot over in Europe, the global shows.
Yeah, won several of the global Grand Prix as well. This is a pair that have had a good run through the season, finished 6th in the first 5-star of the season as well. So he's become more and more a part of the US wider squad.
Yeah, very much so. He's very, very good at giving his horse confidence through the course. Just see him do a little skip there before it took off. Oh, nicely done down through there. Clever building, that roll back to the wall at the in gate and then down the hill, the right turn to that Oxer. You could just see Spencer really wanted to make sure that he got Keeneland back there, and it's got clear written all over it.
It has. It's going to be 75.81 clear there for Spencer Smith and Keeneland for them, and so goes into 9th place, so part of the 12 to potentially return for round 2. Some electing to keep their powder dry as well if they're sitting on their Grand Prix horses too, and they know they're in qualifying position. Several will which take a shot here at this qualifying class, but Spencer Smith once again consistent performance with Keeneland. Knows he's in the right spot. Emily Conter currently in 30th position on the 4.75.01. Those are the best of those for the leaderboard here. Rishi Vogel will be last to go in round 2 with Claudio there. There's our top 10. So a couple electing not to go in there. Nina Malave and Carl Cook amongst them. Erin Ballard now of Canada. Mary Frances looks her game ball BG for the Canadian Olympian, who's been moving this horse up more into the 5-star ranks this season as well. Probably one of the busiest riders here at Wellington, riding literally almost every ring.
I was going to say that everywhere I seem to go, whichever ring I'm at, I seem to meet Erin and Ilan Feder, and they really have a big setup going on. An awful lot of horses jumping in every ring, and Ilan always making sure that Erin has a great team of horses together. And she's very, very good at bringing the horses up into the big sport. She's as brave as a lion. An extremely competitive rider. Extremely good rider and competitive rider. But like you said, she earns her dinner in the evening. I don't think she's ever had to count a calorie in her life. No. And this is another great ride from Erin. Come on.
Erin Ballard of Canada looking for a really good spot here. Lovely round, 73.37. Quicker round as well for the Canadians. So there you are, second best in qualifying, in fact, sitting just behind that of Richie Vogel as part of our top 12 for round 2. So Erin Ballard not only secures her place, but also leaves her in a very good slot there to go for the class here today. 30th position right now is Rodrigo Pessoa and Prince on the forefoot, 74.98. And so with just very few, less than a handful left to come, 4 left to come. We go to Stella Wasserman in just a moment. There's the top 5 of those returning for the second round. Stella Wasserman of the US and Precious Dewisa Haga, the 21-year-old, also under the watchful eye of McLean Ward as well. And has been jumping more and more through the 5-star competitions. Finished 4th actually at the American Gold Cup last year up in Traverse City. Also past junior team medalist, so that's the under-18s. Those young rider championships which also take place in Michigan.
Yeah, it's great to see these young riders getting so much exposure. And I've seen Stella here with McLean on many occasions, and she's really dedicated and trying hard. This lovely Precious, which also jumped great with Olivier Philipparts before coming across the water for Stella. Lovely mare. This would be great for her to get the qualification here to ride under the lights.
No, it's going to spin back.
No.
It thought about it.
It did. It certainly did think about it. I wonder if it's out of view. Does it count? Could we try that one?
No. Not going to get past this group, I can tell you.
Could we go to the judges and say, look, you don't see it on the video?
No.
Well, this is still a very good round from Stella here, and she's just trying to keep it together now. See if she can get home. Oh, could you see her trying to balance there through the corner? Another one that's going to have to come in tomorrow and give it a good shot.
Going to be 8 faults today, 77.33 for Stella Wasserman and Precious Dewisa Hagen. And so, as you say, outside of qualifying for them with 3 remaining combinations left to go in this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, the Grand Prix qualifier here this afternoon. Just here at the Swans.
Yeah, you could just see her working hard there, and also Precious shifting herself to the right to get a little bit of room. And here she just moved up. She got herself organised and moved up to the front bar, but just clipped it off. And again there, lovely balance through the double, but not enough to make the cut.
3 left to go. It is Richie Vogel in the best of qualifying positions right now. And Luis Fernando Lorazabal of Venezuela, Liana Ablin's Baroness, regular winner through the season. In fact, one week I think he won 3 classes here at Wellington this year. He was winning a lot before circuit as well. Last year, individual silver and team at the Bolivarian Games for the Venezuelan. Who's been top 20 at the last Pan Am Games in Chile. And highly competitive indeed. Won the Challenge Cup with this horse, the same class as this, back into week 6, but that was one of the 3-star weeks for them.
Yeah, they've had some really good results at 4-star. They wouldn't have so much at this level. But like you say, very, very determined, competitive rider. And this lovely Baroness, really quick off the floor. He's just keeping the tempo up the whole time. Oh. Wee.
So on the 4, fast 4 is needed. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, another one that just got caught out with that line down to that Oxford. Been such a critical line on this course today.
Final fence dropping as well. 16 there, 75.54 for Luis Fernando de Razabal and Baroness. 2 left to go. Now, interesting, Jess, because we had so many clears in that first half of the class, and it's been much more of a mixed shake-up in the second half.
Well, it just shows you it is a change of competition. In the first half, we had many who were still riding for the clear round, whereas in this round, you know, people are riding against the clock. And there's more, I think things are more of a tension.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of know what the goal is. It used to be a clear round. Now it's a fast clear round. If you have a fence down, you're going to have to be very fast. So the ball has kind of changed, you know. The goalpost has changed, and the riders are perhaps coming in now with a little bit more tension than they would have earlier in the class.
Dara Kenny of Ireland and Eddie Blue, 5-star winners in the Bainbridge Grand Prix here just a couple of weeks ago, just over that now, for the well-established Irish rider based here in the United States. Very good clear round rate for this pair as well, 69% according to the Equiratings lineup as well. So this would be one you'd have your eye on.
Yeah, that's a very high rating. You know, in this sport, a very good. We don't really get such high percentages, simply because of what the sport is. And great that we have this information from Equiratings. It really is fun to look at in the sport. And this combination, like you said, Dara was out for a while, but come back very strong, winning straight away a Grand Prix with Eddie. And this is a big goal for them this week. Get qualified. You can see that Dara's taking no shortcuts. He's using Eddie today to qualify for Saturday, even though he has a string of other good horses. But he wants to make quite sure that he's qualified, and he wants to make quite sure that Eddie is in the shape to go and do it. Oh, they had to work for that.
One from home for Dara Kenny for the pair that won the London World Cup. It is going to be clear 75.51, but a lot of eyes going to be on that pair through qualifying, going clear there for Dara, going into 7th place. So part of our 12 potentially to return. Whether he will return, we will see. As you say, I mean, that is the horse that I would expect him to go at the Grand Prix with as well. So there's going to be 1 or 2 of those that say, I've got my Grand Prix horse, I've got myself in qualifying. I'm going to keep my powder dry. Yeah,
it's a little bit of shame for this lovely WEF competition, but we've had so many good WEFs, and you know, it's just the scenario of this competition. When you're going to ride for $1 million on Saturday night, you know, and you don't have a second horse that you can use for the qualifier, it is going to happen. And I think on this one particular week, it's a little sad for this class, but for the overall picture that everybody's going for that $1 million on Saturday night. But also
it shows the quality of what you've got this week. Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have a starter field this week. It's just wonderful. I mean, it's a pleasure to be able to sit here with you, of course, Stephen, and commentate on this great starter field.
Well, last one to go in the first round is Donald Whitaker of Great Britain. This is Millfield Colette for Donald, who was the winner of the King's Cup at Hickstead a couple of seasons ago with his fabulous horse, and has been a big part of the British team since then, with British successes last year, including in Spruce Meadows. He was also part of the squad that won silver at the European Championships in Spain in 2025 as well.
Don has really moved up in the sport over the last couple of years.
Yeah, got a nice win in this equivalent class in Ocala last week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Di Lampert has really believed in him over the time and supported him and given him great chances, and he's really grown in that. And I think Millfield Colette would definitely be one of those horses on every rider's bucket list to have. She's loved by many. I mean, a heart of gold and such a wonderful competitive mare.
Di, who's the British team manager now. Donald Whitaker, who's made the trip especially here after his team performance last week.
Steady, girl. Steady. Adds a stride. Ooh.
Now he's in the danger zone. On the 4. It might not be fast enough. We will see. 76.36 on the 4 for Donald Whitaker. Millfield Colette looks back. Clock is going to say 38th position, so possibly not in the qualifying there as well. Say top 30. We've got a top 10 to come out of tomorrow. 40 will go into the Grand Prix in all, but initially 30 out of this class. Jess, I mean, some have tried to add Dan there, but it's very easy with hindsight to say, is it the plan?
23 meters 30 coming down the hill to the Oxer before they're bringing a lot of push from that Oxer. Laura did it, made it look easy. Probably others, you know, watched and said, I'll do it too. But you could just see Millfield Colette. She'd got a lot of gallop going on down there, and he was having to work too hard to get the 6, and then he wasn't able to get it off the hand and have the balance in front of it. He'll be extremely disappointed with that.
Well, let's take a look at the top group. Remember, 30, as I say, to qualify. There's going to be a little bit of movement in there with top 10 from tomorrow as well, and then we go back to this list if we haven't got to the 40 at that point, so we'll keep moving down that list. So 30 guaranteed up in their spot. These are the top 12 as well, remember, coming back for the second round, potentially a whole group of those coming to the battle for today's class, the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Sees us down to Marie Damont of France making it in, as does Spencer Smith, Mimi Gotchman, Dara Kenny with Eddie Blue. And then further on from there, I say there's going to be a few of these that are not going to go for the money this afternoon because they're keeping their powder dry for Saturday. Laura Crouch just outside of that, but we'll be seeing her on Saturday night, as you will all the way through this group. Marilyn Little, Heidi von Imhoff, the clears from Elisa Bros of California. Kent Farrington, already pre-qualified anyway, is in 20th position overall. Kyle Tim down there, 24th position for the Canadian, puts himself in qualifying too. And down Lily Keenan getting inside of that in the end with the 4 faults and 74.85. And Elena Haas taking 30th position there. Tom Watchman for the Irish is in there, Jess. So Michael Duffy in there as well. So beyond that will depend on how tomorrow's scores come out. And we're going to be back in just a few moments' time as we prepare for the second round of this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here from Wellington as part of the Rolex Series. See you in a minute.
In the equine world, every four-legged friend matters. That's why horse owners and their agents trust Great American, one of the world's leading providers of equine mortality insurance. From the barn to the show ring, we're here to help protect your horse, farm, and future through every stride. With one of the most comprehensive and unique product portfolios in the industry, Great American is more than insurance. We're your ally on the ride.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
You guys heading up north soon?
Yeah, got Lizzie for a couple weeks this summer.
Taking her fishing, I hope. That's the plan.
Doors. Connect us to what's important.
Excited, sweetie?
A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, your advisor helps you build a personalized, tax-smart investment strategy, identifying opportunities across your entire portfolio. And when life surprises you, your plan can change too. Because doors were meant to be opened.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company that has developed and acquired 43,700 homes, representing $8.5 billion in transactions. With more than 500 associates nationwide, we oversee development, construction, acquisitions, dispositions, asset, and third-party management. Based in Wellington, Florida, Bainbridge continues to grow its national footprint. Learn more at bainbridgecompanies.com.
Well, welcome back and getting set for round 2 of this $116,100 Adequan WEF Challenge Cup here this afternoon. Perfect afternoon here in Wellington, Florida, all part of the US Equestrian Open Series as well. 12 to return, 5 of those in fact electing not to. They're going to keep ready for later on into the Grand Prix. Of course, they're going to be qualifying for that Rolex US Equestrian Open $1 million Grand Prix as well. They are Nicola Philipparts, Dara Kenny, Nina Malavey, Carl Cook and Spencer Smith. The rest will go chasing for the big money here as well. Massive money, of course, on Saturday night, so I can understand that. They're keeping their Grand Prix horses ready to go. It's going to leave us Rishi Vogel, Claudio, last to go there, Jess.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a dangerous one to have Richie in last. I think when
I look at that, Mimi Gotchman, of course, she's going in second. She can be very fast.
Shane
Angantan, yeah, Shane Sweetnam, of course, with Corian. Corian against Claudio. Corian's very, very, very fast, but needs to take an extra stride. Claudio can take one out. He's a slower mover. Yeah, maybe Aaron Bellard will just sneak in there with her game ball. It's a very open one, I think. I mean, of course, having Richie Vogel last to go is a bit dodgy for everybody else, but
but exciting for the rest of us. That's what we're looking forward to.
Of course it is.
It is. So 7 combinations going to go into that next round, and as I say, it has already started to take shape for what happens on Saturday. And the key here as well, although several have sat it out there, whoever wins this class will go last in the Grand Prix on Saturday night as well. So they're going to get pole position in there too. Here's a little of those that we saw from Little earlier on in qualifying already. Just outside of that was Laura Crouch. And so she played a big part. Marilyn Little going to be a part of it as well. She was just outside there on the 16th position. Kent Farrington, super round with Descartes once again for them. And so, again, he's pre-qualified Greyer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact that he rode to get today, you know, it helps his position, his starting position. He's not going to be at the very end, but at least he's in the shake-up there in the second half. The likes of Laura, I think Laura's horse jumped some of the best of anybody's horse today. Of course, when you look there at Dynasty with Nina, what a great combination, and they're sitting it out and waiting. Caracole, we've got a serious bunch of horses settled in around there. But I think for the jump off today, it's going to be very, very interesting. Today, I think it's going to be all about who can ride those turns as economical as possible. We've got a lot of these long bending turns that more and more you see the riders striding the distances when they're walking the courses. You know, didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be when you had such these turns that people would actually be walking. But more and more you see it being done, people making a plan. But at the end of the day, you know, in the jump off, you do have to kind of feel it a little bit.
Yeah. So that's the lineup. Cesar Marie Demont and Fauban de Belliard, Mimi Gotchman, Iron Maiden, Shane Sweetnam, Corian van Klapschoot. It's going to be Daniel Blumen, Hummerzet, Julien Anquetin, Baud de L'Obreset, Erin Ballard and her game ball, Richie Vogel and Claudio going for today's money. Course just being set for the second round. Guillaume Georges, our course designer here once again. Super team, as you can see. We actually have an array of top course designers here and throughout the season as well, all ready for that second spin. So it is building up through the week. Tomorrow, as I say, we're going to be back with you for the speed class top 10 qualifying from that as well. So second chance Friday for a few, and then beyond that it'll be 40 in total that come across those two classes, 30 from this in theory, and the rest from tomorrow, and then remaining made up from today's beyond that group. We're going to take a look at the course for that second round as well, and this brought to you by Fidelity Investments. Thanks to them. And Jess, let's see what they've laid out for our lineup of 7 going here, starting over fence 15.
Yeah, we start down there at number 15, and then it's one of these long, low turns. They'll be turning way inside number 16 there, jumping what was number 3 on the angle, and then a very sharp turn back to B and C of the triple combination. Then it's straight on down to that Rolex Oxer. Will they take a stride out in this round? I don't know. Roll back onto number 6, that black vertical, very tight turn then, and it's across there to number 16, and again land and spin back to what was the double of verticals, the A of the double verticals, 12A, and then it's the gallop up to number 13, the white plank Oxer on the way home. So it really is a galloping course. There's lots of chances to take a stride out. I walked all the distances, but I don't feel that I want to tell you what I walked, because I just think that it's much...
It's going to be a feel session.
It's much more interesting to just watch the riders ride. This is not a session of you know, who's riding the right number of strides. This is a session of who's really riding the fastest, the most economical, and has the best feel for their horse.
So 8 fences in that second round, 56 seconds time allowed. I don't think that's going to be too much of the factor. I think it's going to be speed that is the factor there as well. Guillaume Georges, our course designer here, as it says up there as well. 7 going against the clock to decide this big class, but the even bigger tantalizing prize, of course, is that $1 million Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix on Saturday night. We've got a nice daytime feel to that. That will be under the lights. There'll be lights, there'll be music, huge crowds in there for that. A little bit different.
Yeah, and I really think it's a wonderful, this Saturday night under the lights. I mean, this has been the first year that I've come to Wellington, and I've been in just about every Saturday evening for whatever competition was under the lights. I mean, we've had Grand Prix, we've had Nations Cups, we've had a national final. It's a great night out, and it's incredible to see how many of the locals from Wellington have become fans of the sport, and they come for these Saturday nights, and they're getting more and more educated to understand the sport. Many people turn up very beautifully dressed and have the possibility to walk the course, get involved, meet and greet with the riders. It's a great event, and I have to say it's really something that everybody looks forward to. The first week I was here, oh yeah, okay, I'll come back for Saturday night. And then I was like, okay, Saturday night's a must.
So take a look at the list, and as I say, we've got 5 of those not coming forward. I'll tell you who is. Marie Demont of France is going to start things off. Spencer Smith electing not to jump off. Neither does Carl Cook. Neither does Malavé. And so we're then going to Mimi Gotchman after that for the USA. Dara Kenny and Eddie Blue would also save their energies for Saturday night as well. Nicola Philipparts is going to do the same, but Shane Sweetnam is going to take a shot at this with Corian van Klapschoot. Daniel Blumen, Hummer Z, Julien Anquetin, Baude Lobre Z, Erin Ballard and her game ball BG will be penultimate combination to go, and then Richard Vogel of Germany will be last with Claudio. As I say, he's going with a different ride with Gangster Mon Désir on to Saturday night. So Shane Sweetnam, not sure how the others will play it as well, but several of them are on there going to be riding a different horse on Saturday night as the Rolex clock ticks away and ready to get game back underway with our 7 going against the clock here this afternoon. So just a reminder, we're going to be back with you on Saturday night. We've got a pre-show before all of that as well, going to be around 6:45 on Saturday night, leading into the main event at 8 there on to Saturday with the US Equestrian Open, of course, the Rolex Grand Prix, the culmination of what is an amazing series here in Wellington and of the US Equestrian Open. It is the jumping series part that is concluded, well, and brought to you by the single spot here for the lineup for Saturday night, of course, through the season. Like I say, US Equestrian Open also running across the other Olympic disciplines. They are dressage and they are eventing. Several of the dressage qualifiers taking place in Wellington this year, and in eventing they'll take place throughout the season with a final at Morven Park in October. And of course the dressage, for those that are aware, that will be in the desert in Thermal later on into the year as well, into November too. So great initiatives from US Equestrian as well to encourage the sport to continue to grow here in the United States. So thanks to them, and a huge thanks to Rolex. Of course, this is the first stage of the Rolex series here too, which takes place throughout the year. Some amazing events, some truly historic, fabulous events that are part of that. It'll head over to Europe after here, the first stage in Wellington, with the likes of Rome in the fabulous Piazza di Siena. We'll go to La Baule in France on the coastline there, that wonderful seaside spot. Then it'll be off to Falsterbo, another seaside spot there out on the peninsula in Sweden as well, down in the south. And also to Dinard. We're never too far from the coast, actually. And Dinard in France once again to that. Really unusual, historic grass arena that staged the likes of the European Championships before now, to Dublin, to the heart of the city, where it's so easy to get a Guinness, and then to Brussels, to the final stage, the fireworks, excitement, and the huge production that is the StefX Masters, as well as the last of that group. So that's the Rolex series to look forward to. Thanks to Rolex once again, have been a long-time partner now here of Wellington International. Blue skies up above. I think we've even sent one or two of those little fluffy clouds away as well. We're keeping it almost perfect conditions up above, and down below, just beyond the bridge there, they're getting ready for the second round here. We've got France, we've got USA, we've got Ireland, we've got Israel, Canada and Germany as the nation's flags to be flown this afternoon as well. Jess Kent and I will be taking through the remaining of this class. And Jess, you're back with me for the rest of the week, because you're going to be with me on Saturday night too, and tomorrow afternoon. So we're keeping you busy amongst your training duties out here.
Yeah, well, I consider myself very lucky to be sitting up here with you, Stephen.
I'm very lucky as well to be here. So we're equally lucky to be sitting, almost as lucky as all those horseshoes there, tied together. So let's see, as the first about to head down under the bridge here and get things going. It is going to be for France, Marie Damont as the first of the group, with Faubin de Belliard. So starting us off into this second round, Marie Damont, who headed over for the team competition last week in Ocala, and to start things off here into this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup Grand Prix qualifying class. $116,000 on the table here. Gets to be the trailblazer here, Jess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Marie must be very proud of Faubin de Belliard today, as it's a horse she's brought the whole way herself, produced completely herself, as she has done with most of her horses. Very hard-working lady in the sport. And she's not shy to go fast either, so let's see what she does now today. Starts right-handed, wants to jump across that Bainbridge Ranges vertical. Nice inside line, but not too fast. She's very short back to B and C of the triple. Oh, she was a bit long there. She knew it. Just difficult to jump a vertical when you're riding at it full speed like that. Just steadying down now, giving Faubin a chance. Eight strides across the middle there to that oxer. There's maybe a stride to take out there. And she just brings him home gently. It's still a horse she's producing, and really this horse jumping absolutely fantastic. We'll maybe be able to see that turn into the triple. She really knew she was in trouble as she came through the corner, and she's slapping on the shoulder because she saw she was too far away. The horse was very brave and took off, but he had no chance to jump it.
So they're on the 8 for the first to go, Marie Damont. But again, for them, they put a nice round here, not taking too much out of the tank, ready for Saturday night as well.
No, and I think this horse has really gained so much experience here the last 2 weeks. And it's great for her to have another horse coming up behind her great mare.
Another grey is going to be Iron Maiden now for Mimi Goshman for the Rocking Basilisk Farm. Now, she was the winner of this very same qualifier back into our first 5-star onto week 5 as well for that Fidelity week. Now, she again can take a run at this depending on which horse she's going to go, but she's got some options. But again, she's going to have the horseware down.
Yeah, she took really the angle to that oxer, and it's very, very dark poles. And in the first round, there was the Liverpool underneath, which at least lightened it up. Now it's just 3 dark green poles, so there's not a whole lot to make the horses back off and jump it. And then when you come at the angle like that as well, it's doubly difficult.
Just on the 4 for Mimi Gottschman.
Yeah, but she's keeping the pace up.
Yeah.
Just see there, she moved up out of the corner. Iron Maiden just starting to trail her a little bit to the jumps there.
Finishes on 8:42.62, 8 there for Mimi Gottschman and Iron Maiden this time. So the door is still open for our remaining 5 that are Shane Sweetnam, Daniel Blumen, Julien Anquetin of Erin Ballard and Richie Fogel.
Will be interesting now just to see how much risk Shane will take.
Well, Shane Sweetnam of Ireland will follow on that of Mimi Gottschman. Shane, as we say, I'm expecting to be using a different horse for the Grand Prix in the fabulous twice Olympic ride, the Olympic ride of Paris of James Cancruz, the twice winner of the American Gold Cup. Corian van Klapschoot, this horse alone has been a Grand Prix winner this season too for VoQuest, and it's pretty quick. This is where I see the real pace setter. Yeah, for Richie Fogel to be going at.
Yeah, these two are very fast, but it's a completely different ride to Richie and Claudio. This one scuttles through the course. It's a completely different stride pattern, but very, very careful horse. You could just see how good there, how well Shane used his body there. He's stayed very calm in the last 2 strides. That's the trouble jump out of the way. Now it's all about getting home as quick as you can. Shane gives it a little bit of room there. Calm again with his body. Great shot on that. Get this one out of the way and then scuttle for the last. Good man, Shane. Come on, this is a great round.
Really chasing on. Takes a real good flyer at the last. Shane Sweetnam, Corian van Klapschoot sets the pace. 39.71. That, as we said, is the one to go at.
Yeah, most definitely. And he was really tight everywhere. He was fast everywhere. I don't know. The problem is the length of the stride. This horse just doesn't have the longest stride, and Shane does a really good job of just being patient and giving the horse the time that it needs. But that was a really quick round. It certainly has put it up to them now.
So Shane Sweetnam setting the pace, 39.71. 4 remaining combinations. Daniel Blumen and Hummer Z, first of those to go here. Still we've got France, Canada and Germany. Abigail Wexner's Hummer Z for Daniel. Now Daniel in elated form last week in the big Saturday night class, beating his cousin Marky.
Yes, and I saw his when he went through the finish, his whole show with the crowd and everything. It was all very exciting. They loved it.
We talked to him afterwards, so that was one of the most enjoyable wins he's had, just because it was that family battle. They just had fun with it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Right, Daniel Blumen, time to beat 39.71.
Takes a very short line. Oh, gets it. Beautifully jumped there by Homer. Again here, fast. Oh, this is on target. See if he can get tighter here than Shane. That's a bit tighter than Shane. Oh, he had to add. That was slow. Now he got tighter turn. Gone. Yep, got too deep. He didn't get the one out of the corner. It's always difficult when you turn back and then you get a dead distance. It always ends up being the one that gets you a little bit too deep and slow.
Running for the line and going to be on the 4, 39.54. So actually, 55 rather, would have been a faster time that of Shane Sweetnam, but one down there for Daniel Blumen. So Shane Sweetnam's time, 39.71. So interestingly there, just as you say, was adding in here, but just then lost the pace with it.
Yeah, the problem was as he turned him there, he got him turned on the forehand, not on the hind legs. You know, if you get the horse turned on the hind legs, you can always take that forward stride. But when you turn on the front legs, you can't. There's no push. You have to wait, and that's what happened to him there. And that was the only place that he was faster than Shane. So it would have been interesting to see how that would have been. But certainly there's a little bit left in it.
3 left to go. France's Julien Anquetin and Beau de l'Obrezet will go next. First of 3 left to go. As you said, this former ride of Kevin Stode of France, who was the winning combination in Dinar on the Rolex Series as well.
And this man can ride fast. Tried to get straight. Got to jump it on the angle. Got 4 legs, not 2. Still staying on it. There's good money to be won down the line, so they're all just staying on it a little bit. It's not just the winner that's going to take home a decent purse.
Yeah, remember the four-faulters sitting in second right now, so it's still going to be big money if they can get their nose across the line. 39.88 goes third for Julien Anquetin of France. Boudelot-Brezet, Daniel Blumen will stay ahead of that in second, but Shane Sweetnam with the sole double clear now.
That's a podium for Shane.
Yeah.
But I don't think he just wants a podium. I mean, worst case...
Not a lot he can do about the remaining 2 now, but
worst case he'll settle for it, but I think he'd like to be on the top spot.
So it just leaves Erin Ballard and Richie Fogel left to come. Erin first up with her game ball for Mary Frances Look of Canada. Now, Mary Frances from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, it's a lovely daughter of Karen Ball. And this lady can also, she can play a blinder. Great shot.
That's the shot.
Great shot. Outside leg on and sit up. Got it. Takes one out here. Got it as well. This is faster. Right, now she has to gallop for home. She's really in touch at this stage.
Good turn to pull off here now. Time is going to be a good one as well. It's going to be 39.88. So wouldn't have quite been faster. Still goes into third place there on the 4-faults there for Erin Ballard and her game ball. 39.71. Again, you're just trying to get into the turn, aren't you? Leave yourself enough space, but if you get out too much, you're not going to get the time.
Yeah, she got the turn, but she was already on the way back, and then the horse had the body weight on the inside front leg, and it was just difficult then to jump it clear. The mare shifting a little bit to the right, which made it more difficult. Well, good try from Erin.
1 left to go into this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup this afternoon, and it'll be Richie Fogel making his way down on the grey. Claudio was the last. Shane Sweetnam only double clear out of today's competition, which is very interesting how it's finished up like that.
Yeah.
A lot of clears early on, and then we're into the double clears, just one of those right now. Richie with a time speed 39.71, as they say, and is going to be last. Shane Sweetnam. Will it be Ireland? Will it be Germany? We'll know in about 45 seconds.
We've heard that before, haven't we? No?
Yeah.
Germany against Ireland.
Yeah, that was a team competition last week. And
come on, Richard.
Richie was the winner there.
Come on. Come on, Richie. Give it a go. See if you can catch Shane. He's certainly more likely to go in less strides.
He's so smooth at speed, though, isn't he?
Yeah. He's got that hunger that you need. He's got that self-belief and that hunger. He loves to run. And his horses are so supple underneath him. Claudio is jumping out of his skin. Oof. You kind of sort of feel game over.
A little bit to go yet. Now the smoothness of this turn. That is beautifully done.
Great turn. Great turn. But you can see he's trying to measure it. He knows he has to be fast, but he's trying not to take the last risk. Shane's time.
39.71 is going to be the time to beat. It's going to be close on them. He might not. We'll see. It's going to be right on the line for them. No, 40.53. It is going to be a win for Shane Sweetnam of Ireland. Germany will finish in second this time with Richie Vogel there, Claudio, and Daniel Blumen for Israel finishing in third with Hummer Z. Really slick there, but just not quite catching them, Jess.
Yeah, great try there from Richie. But you could see at this stage he was so up. He got this turn. And you nearly felt when he got this turn out of his way, he said, okay, I'm very fast, I'll just bring it home. And actually that's where you see how quick Corianne was, that last part and that turn back to the vertical, that's actually where Shane won it. It would be a great class to see a head-to-head on.
Well, let's take a look at the overall result of this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. And Shane Sweeten is the winner with Corian van Klapschuit. Richard Vogel of Germany with Claudio finishing second. Daniel Blumen with Hummer Z will finish in third. Just the two double clears there, Richie Vogel and Shane Sweeten. Erin Ballard is in fourth. Top five is Julien Anquetin, Beau de L'Oboisette, Mimi Gotchman and Iron Maiden will finish our top six. And so from the rest of the group, several of those not jumping off, as you see with the WD, withdrawn from the jump off. Nicola Philipparts there, Dara Kenny, Nina Malavey, Carl Cook, Spencer Smith electing not to jump off, but they will go in the final 12 for the Grand Prix on Saturday night. It does mean Shane Sweeten will go in the pole position on Saturday night for the Rolex Grand Prix. He will go last, but more to the danger of some of them as well. Richie Vogel will be penultimate to go in Saturday night's $1 Million Grand Prix as well. Daniel Blumen will be making up that top three. That's the top 18 from today's class. We're going to be back in just a few moments' time for the presentation of this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup.
Nobody tells you how quickly they move into your heart, or how quietly they become your whole world. They'll teach you patience without a word, courage without a question. You're not crazy. They just don't know horses like we do.
Florida Coast Equipment understands the equestrian way of life, and everything you introduce into that life should be uniquely created to perform within it. So, we created the Kubota Winner Circle Tractor Package, designed exclusively for riders who expect uncompromising power, precision, and performance. Because every seasoned equestrian knows it has to be a Kubota.
Well, coming in for the presentation, our top three here this afternoon in the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. Daniel Blumen, Richie Vogel, Shane Sweeten. Sleeves for an exciting lineup as well there for Saturday night, like I say, because Shane Sweeten, there he is, will be last to go. Jess Curtin, who's also Irish team manager, will be watching that closely because she'll be sitting alongside me as well. But victory for the Irish here.
It's a little slightly difficult for you sitting beside me here now, Stephen. Yes, I understand that. No, it was a brilliant jump off, and you can see there, you know, everybody talks about taking the strides out, but in this situation, you could just see the beauty of how Shane knows his Corian so well, and it was just the line that they took and how quick they're across the round, quick over the jump. Wonderful to see. It was a great jump off, and as you say, for those last two riders in the Rolex on Saturday night, I mean, it's what more could you ask for?
Absolutely. Richie Vogel there with Claudio finishing in second. Daniel Blumen we saw just before that with Hummer Z, and our winning rider Shane Sweeten with Corian van Klapschuit, already Grand Prix winners this season, adding another there with the horse for Shane. And for VoQuest, teams up with the Vogel family here as well, and very well done to them. Shane Sweeten, beautiful afternoon, sunglass weather for the day. Big smiles, and will be in pole position for Saturday night's Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. National anthem about to play out for our winning rider. It is huge. Congratulations for Shane Sweetnam of Ireland with Corian van Klapschuts. Well done, Shane Sweetnam, up against Richie Vogel. Will it be the same on Saturday night? We will see. And so setting off on their victory gallop here. Congratulations to Shane. Pole position in the class, pole position for qualifying for the Saturday night $1 million Rolex Grand Prix as well. Brilliant stuff from him, and looking forward to that. Lovely showdown between those two. And for all of those in qualifying and a few that have just got to wait and see now whether they are into Saturday night too. Like I say, we're going to be back on Friday as well with the second of the qualifying competitions, the Friday Speed. Top 10 to come from that to fill the remaining places. Again, here today, it is a head-to-head battle between Shane Sweetnam and Richie Vogel. We're going to take a look at this as well. Jess, let's take a look at the performances of Shane. Like you say, a real battle between two fantastic horsemen.
Yeah, wonderful to see this, and two completely different horses. You can just see up to now it's really head and head there going into the double. Richie had got a slight neck up in front, takes a stride out, and here Shane takes a little bit of time here. Richie's quicker, and now you can see how quick Corian is over the last 3 jumps. Richie just balances up his big stride there, and Shane's able to keep running with his shorter stride, and the same here, keeps running with his shorter stride and scuttles over it and just sprints to the last jump. And there, you know, there you could really see the speed of this animal. Lovely jump off, so close between the two of them.
Very good stuff between those two. That rivalry will return on Saturday night for the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Here for the $1 million there. We remain to see who the remaining 10 will be qualifying. That we will know tomorrow here from the Friday afternoon battle here in Wellington. Thank you very much for joining us for a lovely afternoon of sports. And it is going to be catching up with Shane Sweetnam in just a moment as well. So we're going to catch up with him and have his words on how his performance played out for this Adequan WEF Challenge Cup. So super performances all the way out. Jess, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always. So let's head down and have a chat with Shane Sweetnam.
On the Adequan WEF Challenge win. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's obviously a lot of pressure on it because it's a qualifier for Saturday night. So the primary purpose in the first round was to jump a clear round. There was a lot of clears, so I was later to go, and I had thought a good plan to hopefully get in the top 12. Obviously, his winning round. He's a quick horse, and that's sort of why I picked this class as well for him, because I felt he'd be quick enough without pushing him. And then in the jump off, you know, then it was like a different class. I was thinking about getting the win. As I had gone, there'd been nobody clear, so I didn't just blow it out of the water, but I was as quick in a calculated way, and then luckily enough, no one got me.
Must be nice to be able to play a 2-horse campaign, because I'm assuming that Corian, younger horse, you were able to ride for the win today thinking, I've got something else in the golf bag for Saturday night.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Normally, most years I'm not that lucky. Like normally James Cruz would jump the qualifier and has been clear in this class a few times, and I haven't jumped off. So this time, this horse has been, you know, he's only 10 still, but he's been on form, has won a good few classes. So I felt that if we could get into the jump off, that we could try to win this class. And also I felt he could jump a good round to qualify us. So it worked out well.
And just talking about it, we looked at the field of riders who've come here, the horses. Now we know the 30 who've qualified out of this and the 10 who are likely to do so tomorrow. We're set up for another epic week 12, aren't we?
Yeah, it's always, the Rolex Grand Prix is always a tough, high standard Grand Prix. You know, they're probably one of the best in America, and getting up there in the world. There's a lot of riders coming from Ocala, from Longines last week. So there's a really strong field, and it won't be easy.
Congratulations again, Shane, and we look forward to seeing what you do with it on Saturday night.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys, and looking forward to Saturday night. Like I say, we've got more to come in between with our Friday afternoon rundown with the Speed. Saturday night with, of course, the $1 million Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. From us, Jess Curtin, thank you very much. You're going to be back with me tomorrow as well. You've got training
Steve,
and everything else to do in between.
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much for joining us here this afternoon. As I say, lots coming up here from the US Equestrian Open final closing. So congratulations to all those taking part here today. It has been a swift run through. The first of the qualifiers of the week is setting up for a massive week here at Wellington International. Come and join us. There's more here at the party, here for an amazing lineup of riders, one of the best you'll see in the world for this year's Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix. Slowly, the stage is being set for a super Saturday night. The Friday thriller is still to come, and it's on for the millions. So just to remind you that all games are airing on ESPN networks and apps as well. And join us here for all of the action from the production team here in Wellington and the ESPN team as well. We thank you very much for joining us here in Wellington. We'll see you very, very soon. For now, it's a quick goodbye.